so much pressure.
No, there's no pressure on this one. We're just talking. More informal. Wait here for just a couple minutes. See if anybody else joins in. I know most of us are already here. And then we'll get started on everything. While we're waiting, though, Linguist, do you mind if you pull up the live stream and maybe check some of our voices to make sure we're all coming through?
Yeah, hold on.
Thank you. And then we can go ahead and sound off. And hello, Zeno! Welcome to the live stream. We just started not too long ago. And then we can go ahead and sound off. And hello,
By not too long ago, like straight up a minute ago.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck was that? That's like a mini union.
Oh, I can hear you in truck.
That's good. Linguist, if you want...
Jeff is super quiet.
Ah! That's good. Linguist, if you want... Jeff is super quiet.
Hello,
I
can you hear
definitely
me?
hear the Linguist in the background.
But alright, Linguist, if you want to go ahead and just tell people to go ahead and say something, and that way you can hear.
Alright, Jeff, say something again.
That's what they're doing.
Hello, Cake. Hello.
Alright, I'm not dealing with
Dark,
these
say something.
Marigons. I'm here. That's a delay.
Yep, good 5 to 10 seconds there. Rich, you were here too, yeah?
Hola.
There we go. And Zeno, you're not in the party chat? Oh, there we go. All right.
There he is. Alright. And Linguist, do you hear yourself?
Liquidito.
Yes.
Alright. Is that everybody? There he is. Alright.
I think so.
And Linguist, do you hear yourself?
Oh, Dragon, you're on your PS5. You have to change your voice setting. Remember, because you weren't coming across in any of the videos?
I will throw you off this fucking thing.
So you can't do it from the mini menu. You have to hold down the PlayStation button and go up to the settings widget at the top. And then where is it? It's not captures and broadcasts. It's sound? Nope.
Is it not a setting he could tweak in the party settings?
Is that where it is?
I thought that's where it was.
Alright, in the party, going to the 3 dots, voice chat settings. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so push the PlayStation button once, and then click on the party. And then you see the 3 dots just below Union's party. Click on that, go to voice chat settings, and share your voice is the 3rd option there.
Tap your heels 3 times.
Allow. Okay.
Got it?
I think so.
Alright, now we shall see.
Yep. Check for him and then truck, just quickly.
Oh, I heard truck.
You did? Okay, good, good.
So, hold on. Dragon, say something?
Dragon, say something?
Oh, I heard truck. He did? Okay, good, good.
Dragon, say something? Dragon, say something? There we go. Truck, you want to say one more thing just to make sure?
Okay, one more thing. Okay.
There we go. Yep, we're good.
Holy delay, Batman.
Yeah, it's a little bit
I know,
delayed,
right?
but it's alright. We're good. But alright, is that everybody good, Linguist?
Echo.
I think so. I haven't looked through the party to see who all is here, but we checked a good 7 or 8 people.
Yeah, if you just want to give it a look, just make sure before we get started. We'll
We
make sure
did
it's
not
good.
check USA, but he was saying stuff anyway, and I know.
Yeah, I could hear him in the background. Yeah, so we're good. Alright, so we'll go ahead and officially get started. About 5 minutes in, that's perfectly fine. So the Andromeda Madness Tournament live stream of 2023, or season 2023. I know we're in 2024 now, but just wrapping everything up. Ought to be a good conversation. Got a lot to talk about. So the first thing we'll go ahead and do, we'll go through all of our matches. And we're actually going to go ahead and start with the round 1 matches. Some of our qualifiers we didn't have, and there were only a few of them, so we're just going to go ahead and start with round 1. And we're only going to really do the matches that we had. We did have a lot of forfeits this year. We will get to that section later on in the live stream. But we'll go ahead and take a look at the matches we did play. First one up in round 1, 26 versus 31, and that was Hitman versus Efreet Avocados. Efreet Avocados did win that game, 27-4 to 24-9, difference of 2.5k. Decent game overall, decently close. Any thing to say about that one?
Was it a sleeper hit?
Wasn't that the one we were expecting Hitman to run the kineticist because he had done that during practice?
Yes.
I believe
yeah,
so.
That was supposed to be his win.
And what did he bring instead? The kineticist or
No, he
else?
was supposed to. I think he brought the Sentinel. No?
You might want to check if you got the videos pulled up too.
Hold on. I will consult the log.
I have a feeling it might be the Juggernaut.
I mean, it was a close margin, 2.5k. That's decent. It's still close.
Okay, we're looking for
26 versus
Hitman
31.
versus Avocado.
Yep, Hitman versus Avocado. And hello, Tibbs. Welcome to the live stream. We just started. We're doing our first game we're talking about. We're talking about Hitman versus Avocado.
That's an Asari Sentinel.
So he played the Sentinel. Okay.
Yeah.
Did play the Sentinel. He still kept it close, though.
was the Exemplar.
It's hard going up against the Exemplar. But no, both of our contestants did really well in that round. Like I say, the points margin was somewhat minimal, so it was a good game. Anyone else have anything to say about that one?
I don't think I even remember it.
It was a lot. That's the thing, though, with some of these early games. I know it's been a while ago.
Yeah.
What year was that in?
Last year, pretty much.
Yes, that was Magma.
Yeah, it was a while ago. It really was. But no, some of these were going to be a little hard-pressed to remember because they were at the very start of the tournament. But as we get into some of the later rounds, we'll start to remember more. But since we do have Tibbs in here, Tibbs, are you talking or no? All right, Linguist, if you want to do a quick voice check on her.
Give me a sec. I had to close that to look up
Yep,
the
you're
list.
good. You're good. Yeah, we still do voice checks here, just to make sure we can be heard.
Say something.
Dog said hi.
Tibbs, say something again. Oh, you just got a PS5, Tibbs. You have to change your audio settings.
There's a very strange thing that you have to do as well.
Push the PlayStation thing, the PlayStation button once, and then you'll see Party Voice Chat, the one that we're in. Click on that. And then you'll see the 3 dots right below where it says Ups Party. And you go to Voice Chat Settings. Yeah. And then share your voice is the 3rd one.
Alright, got it.
And when you want Linguist, go ahead and do the voice check then on her again.
I am multitasking.
I understand.
Playing a game and responding to stuff and doing this. Tibbs, say something.
And parenting all at the same time.
No, they're not here.
Tibbs here.
I hear him PS5 splaining in the background.
I hear Tibbs.
Alright, we are good. So that's everybody done again. Alright, so we are good. So nothing else about the first game. I think we covered everything there. I know it was a while ago. So the next game, we have 27 versus 30. That was the 27 seed Lead Pink versus the 30th seed Breaker. Lead Pink won that game. Let me go ahead and pull my notes down here. It was 30,100 to 25,400, difference of 4.7k. So Lead Pink actually had a decent lead there and won over Breaker. So anything about that one? I believe so.
That sounds right.
And Breaker, he's been in the tournament a couple times before, but he really hasn't been playing too terribly much leading up to it. But Lead Pink, he's never been in the tournament before, but has been playing. So I think just playing the game a little bit really helped him out get that victory over Breaker.
I was just any highs and lows you remember from the particular matches.
Yeah, we're just going through them.
Yeah. Anything that stands out? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I said, he was a newcomer, so we really don't know what he was going to bring. That is true.
Yeah.
Breaker usually has his select set of characters he likes to bring out in this. But I think it just came down to Lead Pink playing the game more in recent months. Anything else to say about that one?
Nay.
Alright, now we move on to one that might get a few more comments. We have the 28th seed Obsidian versus the 29th seed Silverwolf, and you guys might have something to say about that. Silverwolf won that game 28-6 to 23-7, difference of 4.9k.
I think that one played out the way we thought it was going to. Silverwolf had been practicing, and Obsidian, that's Taco, right? He hadn't really.
Yep.
I don't think I've ever seen him play Andromeda, so he was just like Breaker, coming back just for kicks.
Yeah, he was a bit rusty too. Like even in the past, when he would come on and join us, he would even often say that, oh, I'm a bit rusty, so you guys gotta forgive me, like bear with me. So I kind of, it was expected because like the fact that he hasn't been active. So yeah.
And that has a lot to do with it. I mean, the people who usually play a lot before the tournament get into those matches usually do a little bit better than those that kind of just hop right back into it. And we've seen that in multiple games throughout the season. So it makes sense. Like I said, he got a decent victory, 4.9k, and took the win, went to the next round. So that's all three games that we played in round one. I don't think there's any big surprises in them, and they were pretty good overall. So heading to round two, we have the 5th seed Jeff versus the 29th seed Silverwolf again, and we know how that one turned out. It was a nail biter. It was a 136 point victory for Silverwolf. Very close match.
Yeah, I think that was top upset, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I was trying something new because I didn't want to be dependent on the adept all the time. So, yeah, it was the bad timing to try it on some. And also, I didn't know Silverwolf's playstyle, so I was like, I figured, oh, okay, this will be a piece of cake. So I was wrong. Yeah.
And like I say, Silverwolf came out of nowhere. I mean, didn't expect him to go as far as he did in the tournament. He did really well, so credit to Silverwolf. He did well in that game, but still, I mean, well fought by you, Jeff. I mean, it was still a fantastic game early on. They say round two of the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else about that one from anyone?
I was actually looking forward to my consolation match with him, but yeah, that didn't work out.
No, I understand. And yeah, we'll talk about that one later. We have another section dedicated to it. But yeah, just for the match overall, it was really good early on, a close one. That was fun to cast. I really enjoyed that one. Moving on, though, we have our 6 and 27. It was 6 Linguist versus 27 Lead Pink. Linguist won that one, 33,000 to 28-1. The difference 4.9k. So Linguist got that victory. Any comments about that one?
It was
Pink had a great attitude. Yeah, we were both using the human vanguard, and he was following me. And he was just like, I wasn't expecting to win. I was just expecting to have a good time. And I was like, that's a really good attitude for the newer players, because a lot of the newer players can't really expect to win. It's just like a learning experience and have a good time. And we don't see a lot of. I mean, most of the people we play with have a pretty good attitude, but we don't always see that where people are like, they're still happy to play even if they lose. Some of them get too upset,
It's the only
That's true.
attitude I could have the whole time.
What's that?
Usually it is pretty good
No,
sportsmanship between everyone.
Yeah, no, just what Linguist said about, going into it not expecting to win.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good in terms of sportsmanship. Our contestants are courteous. So overall, it's a good experience.
No, just what Linguist had said about, going and not expecting to win. I know I did win my qualifier, and then after that, yeah, but I don't know, just wanted to have fun.
Hopefully you did overall. I know it's hard, like I say, winning the qualifier and getting into some of the later rounds. You're going up against some of the higher seeds, but overall it's a good performance. I will say.
Tibbs had it rough too, because she's in it for to have fun, and we're like, Tibbs, you got to do this, and that. You got to do. We kept like giving her crash courses on characters, and she's like, leave me alone. Well, she didn't actually say leave me alone, but she had to be getting tired of us telling her how to play.
All the training that Darkseid put me through.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark, I know you did some training with some people, and
we've picked up a whole new class.
No,
that is true.
I appreciated all of it. I really did.
They were the hard-ass PE teachers.
Oh, man.
I'm just the orchestra geek that wanted to sit in the back and be like, why? I don't want to.
No, but overall, that was a good game, though. So any more comments about that one there?
I remember watching that one. That was a good match.
It was. Let's say difference 4.9k, so it's not too bad. I mean, it's still a decent margin.
Oh, yeah.
It was a good match.
Well, that leads us into our next one. 7 versus 31. We have Zol versus Ifrit Avocados, and Zol was out for blood. It was a win for Zol, 38-6 to 24-6, 14,000 point victory for him.
Oh, the invasion triumphs.
Yep. The invasion won that one, among other things. Mm-hmm. He was pulling no punches. Anything else on that one, though, or that was just, I guess, a solid victory by him?
No, I think that went exactly how we were expecting it to, just from Zolix's practice matches. We knew he knew what he was doing.
Nah, fair enough. Like I say, he did practice a decent amount.
Oh, yes.
The only thing is that I know for his practice matches, when he versed a Jug, it really didn't go the best for him. I know that was kind of his weak point coming into the tournament, but other than that, he was solid.
I think that was the strategy to beat him if he went farther, wasn't it?
I believe so. That was the common knowledge to try to go up against him, was maybe use the Jug. but he went far in the tournament. But alright, after that, we have another big game, the 8 versus 33. We have Panda versus Tibbs, and Panda did take that one. Took it by a score of, let me pull down my notes here, 41-5 to 22-3, a 19.2 thousand margin of victory for Panda.
Yeah, he never came off the gas on that one.
He did not.
And I don't even think he realized what the score was, because at the end he was extremely excited that he won, which he should have known he had a bet in the bag for like a couple of waves at that point. So I think he was really focused.
You remember when he won? He was like, he like called his mom and dad. He's like, I won.
Yeah,
was that the game where he did it?
They were super
I think that might have been.
Too. That was cool. That was really cool.
It was.
That was cute. Yeah.
It was a good victory for him. Tibbs, I know it was a harder game for you being on the other side of that, but I mean, you still did your best against a very high-ranked opponent, so I give you credit for that.
I mean, I only started playing this game regularly last year, back around like August, maybe like July or August or something. So
yeah.
No, yeah, my qualifier, like I had never played with math, so that was fun to win that one. But yeah, I fully expected to lose to Panda.
Panda, he was a force to be reckoned with. He went far, so hopefully we can have you both back though for next year. Anything else though about that one?
Oh yeah.
I mean, it definitely set the tone for Panda and everyone's view of him, because I think everyone kind of counted him maybe not as much of a threat. I know I definitely did. Because we played a couple of practice before the tournament started, and I was like, this guy's going to be trouble.
Yeah. Hey, Linguist, is it possible for a Panda versus Apex trainee?
It's more than possible, but I think we all know how that's going to go.
I think Panda quit, didn't he?
He kind of did, it seemed. Maybe he'll be back,
Panda
though. You never know.
Andromeda? He did the same thing we all did. The tournament was over. He moved on to other stuff.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, you gotta have the lieutenant practice this year.
Yeah, well, that's easier said than done.
He didn't practice last year.
Nope, he barely did anything.
Let him practice on the PS4.
He's busy getting punched in the face by
for him than
puberty.
he did during my vacation, air quotes.
He still did fine, though.
In other words, he's discovering girls.
No, he's just discovering many, many video games.
True.
And he can't focus on one.
Well, hopefully we can have everybody there we were talking about back. It'll be good. Maybe he'll get some more practice in, and we'll see how he does. I mean, he did fine this year, though, and we'll get to his matches later. But alright, moving on. The 10 versus 23. We have Jace versus Taeyun. And that ended up in a Jace victory. 34-6, 26-5, 9.1 thousand margin of victory. So a good win for Jace there versus Taeyun.
Yeah, Jace doesn't know that I don't think he realizes that he is pretty good himself. He's very modest. So, because I've done practice with him, and boy, he defeats me on that juggernaut. It's like, wow, I'm actually surprised. So that was expected.
You think it was expected to be that high in terms of the points?
Yeah, well, I expected that he would win that match, and because he kept saying that, oh yeah, he doesn't have any, he hasn't put any practice on, and he's not very good at the game. But it's like, I think he's just being modest. I think he doesn't know his potential. So.
Now, Jace is a really good player, and a lot of people said his juggernaut is extremely good.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Now, a good win.
When I was running practice matches with him, that kind of made me nervous. It's like, oh my gosh, it's like it's a possibility that I might face to face with him if, but yeah.
No, but he's definitely good. He made it well into the tournament, so good win for Jace there. Moving on, though, 11 versus 22. We have Richard versus Red Dread. And that one ended up in a Richard victory, 37-5 to 30,600, 6.9 thousand margin of victory for you, Richard. You're here. What do you have to say about your game?
What do you have to say for yourself?
Explain. Who do you think you are?
He's paying attention.
Yeah. That first match is like gonna win with Sentinel, hell or high water, and if I didn't get it, oh well.
Yeah, this was the Sentinel's year.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about that a little bit
very well in
before.
the crow's nest, just sniping on magma right from the top of the map. I didn't have to move much, and that was the key to victory there.
Yeah, the Sentinel has really good long range and mid range, and if you get a good spot with her, you can just snipe everything with her powers, and you did that perfectly up there in the crow's nest. A good win for you, 6.9 thousand margin of victory. I don't think the game at any point was really in jeopardy too terribly much. You just kind of took the lead and kept it. So anything else about that one? Good, Richard?
Yeah, it was a very easy-paced game. If I started stressing out, I would have played worse. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, that was before the secret weapon had been played.
Oh, I think there was secret weapon there.
Oh,
Pretty sure there was.
There are no dark days like that. The secret weapon was always around.
The secret weapon prevailed in most of those cases, I believe. But moving on to our next one, 12 versus 21. 12 real perfect versus 21 medium emerald. It was a perfect victory. We had the score of 34-5 to 27-5, 7,000 point margin of victory for perfect. Anything about that one?
That one was a good eye-opener for us, because before that, we all had heard that Perfect was very good, but we'd only seen, or actually nobody saw it because I didn't put it up, but the only information we had about him was his practice match against me, so he could just see what the tournament was like. And I wasn't running the right character for the map, and he crushed me with grenades. So we were like, how good is he really going to be? And then he was like, well, I'm going to be good. So
he did well. The thing is, though, the margin of victory was only, I say only, 7,000 points, compared to, like, we have a 14, a 19.2, and a 9.1, so it wasn't like he was blowing people out of the water completely. It's just that he got a solid victory.
He's so polite. That's what it is.
So
he is polite, though. I'll give him that.
So on that match, I already knew Perfect had it from against Emerald. That was a simple, easy output.
How so?
And if I'm not... I already knew how Perfect played, so I already knew that much. But also I knew Emerald, he didn't practice as much as everybody else did. Well, the top players anyways.
True, but I don't think he was a slouch or anything. I still think he did well against him.
Oh no, he did well, but he didn't do great. Like me.
Well, he did what he had to, and it was still a decent game overall, so we'll give him that. All right, anything else about that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's always looking for ways to improve his own gameplay, and I think looking on YouTube and trying to learn as much as he can helps him out. And he had a good victory there. I mean, still 7,000 points. That's what we start to define as a run over. I think we've all kind of agreed on in the tournament, where you pretty much have it in the bag at that point. But he did what he had to, got that 7,000 point margin of victory, 34-5 to 27-5. Good win for Perfect on that one. So now we move all the way down to our 15 versus 18, because once again some forfeits, but we will talk about that later. The 15 versus 18 was Apex Trainee versus Will. And that was a win for Apex, 35k to 27-4, 7.6 thousand margin of victory. So Apex did well, even though he wasn't practicing too terribly much. Still got that win by a very good margin.
Yeah, he had a lot of fun with that one. And if I had thought farther ahead, I would have made sure he was here for this. But no, he is out.
Well, that's
yeah,
okay.
I think that one we were kind of thinking it would be a toss-up because Will still plays regularly, even though he doesn't do the hardcore competitive stuff, and Apex hadn't really been playing much at all. So it was nice to see him get that.
Yeah, and he got it by a decent margin. So I mean, he can still play right out of the gate. So that's good for him. Anybody else have any comments about that one? Well, with that, go ahead. You still got that victory. Yeah, I would say you still got that victory. So that actually wraps up round 2, and the round 2 scores, they're actually skewed toward really high point totals in terms of margin of victory. So I was just looking that over. But I mean, honestly, that's what you kind of expect from round 2 because you have higher seeds going against the lower seeds. So really nothing too out of the ordinary there. Overall, really good games, good sportsmanship for round 2. And that moves us into the round of 16. We're starting to get a little bit deeper into it. Here we got the 1 versus 16 this year. It was the 1 seed Dark versus the 16 seed Megaton. That was a Dark victory, 40.8 to 30.3, 10.5 thousand margin of victory for Dark. Any comments about this one?
No comments from Dark?
I'm surprised.
It's like he's here to comment about his own thing. He's like, yeah, I want to thank God. And what do the football players usually say?
And my
my team. Oh, there, and my mama. There you go. And my baby mama.
Might not have any words for it, so nothing to say on it, Dark?
He probably went to Papa Squat.
Maybe. Well, the thing is, I mean, I don't think the game, once again, was really in jeopardy at any point. Dark had it handled early on. Don't get me wrong, the Megaton's still a very good player, but Dark, 1 seed coming in this year, knew what he had to do to get the victory. He did exactly that and went ahead and had a decent margin, so...
And he prepped a ton, too.
That is also correct. Dark was doing some
I don't know how much
prepping.
Practice Megaton got for the tournament, because I mean, he's like Will, he plays regularly, but it's not the same as prepping for the tournament.
Yeah, but overall, like I say, good victory for Dark there.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Yes, there you are. Would you like to comment on it?
You said, and then you let it out, and then I went on this like 30-second talk, and then you guys were like, "Hello." It's so awkward. Hello?
No, you're
like,
good. You're good.
Oh, no.
They're just screwing with me. No, the only thing I was gonna say was God bless the Vanguard. That was a great map for that character.
I was right. He invoked God. I told you he was gonna.
But yeah, like I was saying earlier, I don't really think the game at any point was in jeopardy really too terribly much. I think you had it handled from the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, all of us like just practiced a lot, so that one was well practiced, well rehearsed.
Yeah.
And I think Megaton was like, I'm gonna play, and he did really good, but
it's just he knew what he was going up against. You practiced a lot, and you got that victory, so it was a good one there. But alright, moving on to our next one. 2 versus 15. 2 seed Cleveland versus the 15th seed Apex. Cleveland did get the victory here. 37-4 to 31-5, 5.9 thousand margin of victory for Cleveland, so he does win that game. So any comments about that? I know early on this was a toss-up, people were thinking.
Right, it wouldn't have mattered, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's still the rule that if you miss extraction, you're out. That's how it goes. But it wouldn't have mattered here because he was on the lower side of the points total, so Cleveland just made doubly sure that he took that win. Like I say, 5.9 thousand point margin, so I mean, he did well. But like I say, both of those contestants weren't really playing too terribly much. And really, in fact, the whole top right quadrant didn't play that much, it seemed.
Mm-hmm.
I was
I'd
in
like
the
to
wrong
say.
quadrant. Jesus.
You were in a tough. I mean, each one was
You were
tough.
in the perfect quadrant. You needed to be with Panda while you were training him to be an evil player.
So the only thing I have to say is that I'm 2 seed. He was those 3 seeds.
Well, now you are for next year. We'll go over the seeding later. And like I say, that is
I
subject
agree.
to
I
change.
think Dragon
Two
was
seed.
the second the entire time.
Yeah, I was the 2nd seed the entire time.
Well, he's officially the 2nd seed now. We'll go over that stuff later. But still, overall, good match. Good round of 16 game. Now we'll go to a little bit closer one due to some various reasons. We have the official for this year 3 seed Dragon versus the 14th seed Got. Dragon won that one, but not by too terribly much. It was 36,000 to 33-1, 2.9 thousand point margin of victory, but there's a reason for that.
What was the reason?
Which
Permakill.
Which one's this one?
Where you got permakilled versus God.
This is against I Got This.
You
Yeah, I
mean
had
where he
that.
orchestrated getting permakilled? Yeah.
That was easy.
Orchestrated.
Conspiracy.
I had that one.
Fat conspiracy.
Matter of fact, that was our lowest point spread in the round of 16. We'll get to the next one here in a moment.
Dragon's like, what happens if this happens to me and I just keep destroying the Ascendant's orb? And you're like, okay, that's cheating. Not that it's cheating, but you know.
Yeah, I believe he did say that during the game, and we might have to make another rule about that if that did happen in the future, but we'll get there whenever we have something like that. We might have another Dragon rule coming up. The Dragon rule part 2. Oh, man. So anything else to say about that game? I mean, it was exciting. We had that sync kill, but Dragon was still able to take it. So anything else about it?
Dragon, you just keep making history.
He's like, my people have been doing that since the beginning. It's about time I noticed.
He loves to make history here. But alright, that was a good match. Our closest one of the round of 16. But moving on here. 12 versus 29. We have the 12 seed Perfect versus the 29th seed Silverwolf. So that was a little bit different. We had some different seeds going at it. It was a win for Perfect, 41-5 to 34-1, 7.4 thousand margin of victory. Anything about that one?
Oh, actually, I think I need to step away for a second, so you guys talk.
Yep, you are good. And I will say that he was about middle of the road here. There were 2 higher than that in terms of point spread and 4 below, so it's not like it was too outstanding, but he still did really well against his opponent, Perfect did. Anybody else have anything on that one, though? Or is that kind of expected?
Was that against Silverwolf?
Yes, it was Perfect versus Silverwolf.
Oh yeah, that one was kind of I think everyone had that one expected. It was the next one was the shot heard around the world.
Well, we will get there. But, alright, so really not too terribly much talk about that one. Seems like it went as people planned. So we'll move on to the next one. And Linguist better get back here because it's number 6 Linguist versus number 11 Richard. And we got some stuff to discuss there, I would say.
You got some splaining to do.
Richard won that one, 33-5 to 29-5, 4,000 point margin of victory for Richard. So Richard pulls off the upset versus Linguist, I believe, for the 2nd year in a row. Is that right, Richard?
Actually,
I mean, 3rd.
1 year in between I didn't play, so
That's
it was
right.
the 2nd year in
Okay.
a row for me.
For you, yes. So, do you have anything to say about that one before Linguist gets back and he tries to defend himself?
Yeah, just tell the truth because we know he's going to lie about it.
Linguist, it just needs to get good.
Right? Right? Finally, someone laying down truth fact.
Wow. And he's not even here to defend himself right now.
What's
we
the
both
old
agreed
adage?
to-
The truth hurts.
We both agreed to no assist point characters, make it interesting.
Just move on, and then he'll just
just
have
had-
to hear about it later.
It might have been too interesting
I had a
for
different
him.
soldier build. I had a different soldier build than he did, and it might have been the difference.
Yeah, I think the Paul overall is better.
I did lay heavy into the concussion shot. I don't even know if he put points into it.
I did not.
Ah, he's back, so he can now defend himself. You know what game we're on now, right, Linguist?
The gentleman's agreement.
Yes, it is. So what do you have to say?
Did you hear what Rich
I blame
said?
Dragon. It was his idea. And he's went to the store to do something, so he can't even defend himself. See, he's like, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to suggest that Linguist use grenades. And then I'm going to suggest that Richard use grenades. And then I'm going to suggest that they play each other, but he's going to do it indirectly. See, that's what it was. We were puppets dancing.
So you're blaming somebody outside of the match.
Oh, hell yeah, exactly. It wasn't pilot error. That's crazy talk.
No.
All right.
Okay. Relating to the next round, if you had gone against Dragon, you've probably been doing stupid shit too, like we were, so.
Oh,
I
I
would not have agreed to a level 1 character that had no points into anything in Predators. I like the way my knuckles function.
It was painful to cast. It was my most sarcastic game, but we will get to that one. Trust me, we will get to that one.
That was beautiful, dude. What are you talking about? That was glorious.
Oh, we'll get there. But anything else to say about Linguist versus Richard, though?
Rich, apart from me blaming it on Drag, Rich did really well. So it was a good match.
Fair enough. Zeno, did you say something there?
Oh, we saw that a bunch during all the practice matches. There was no fun to be had there.
Oh yeah.
Well, actually, I got another thing to say about it, but I'll bring it up later in our stats section. But go ahead, you guys.
No more gentleman's agreement?
No.
It's quickly becoming a Juggernaut versus Adepts kind of situation, and yeah, it decided to be a little different.
Overall, it was a fun match, though, the cast.
Regrets.
No
I
regrets.
don't want to break the streak of not losing to Rich when it counts. I've got to keep that going. So.
So we're going to have at least one more year of this, I'll say. So maybe there'll be a different outcome, but maybe not. You never know. We'll see. But all right, moving on from that one, though, we have our 7 versus 10. We have 7 Zol versus 10 Jace. And that was another one that was up in the air, but Zol did take it 36-5 to 32-3, 4.2 thousand margin of victory for Zol. It was a good one, so any thoughts about it? A little bit. I also know Jace did have some other stuff going on at the time, I think, in the real world, so he might not have been able to practice as much, which could have caused some stuff. So it might have been even closer if that didn't happen, but, you know, it is how it happened. But, Jeff, I know you were going to say, like, what was going on. Was he in the middle of a move or something?
Yes.
Okay.
Cause
then it's like a power outage, too. At least I think there was something like that. Or maybe that was someone else. I couldn't remember. I just know he had some stuff going on, so I know that prevented him a little bit from playing.
He wasn't on a lot leading up to it. So I think the match would have been a lot closer, like nail-biting, if he had been playing around that time and been on point, because I don't think he wasn't in the headspace for it at the time.
Yeah, and he didn't even actually mic up for it.
For this year. A lot of people not playing that top form, especially in the later matches.
Yeah, and like I say, we'll get into that whenever we talk about the forfeit situation, things like that. The tournament went so long this year, but like I say, we'll get into that, though. But we have one more game for the round of 16, the 8 versus 9. We have the 8 seed Panda versus the 9th seed Positronium. And that was a win for Panda, 42-2 to 30,900, 11.3 thousand margin of victory for Panda. So Panda cleans up again against an opponent. Anything about that one?
Yeah, that was the point. I was like, what have I done?
Yes.
And you knew you were next.
I was next. I'm like, oh no. Oh no.
It surprised me it was that big a difference because we'd done rounds of Positronium the day
Yeah,
before. And he was
Positronium,
doing good.
he not only did good with the same setup, he beat me running that Kineticus against, I think it was the Juggernaut. So I'm like, okay, this will be a pretty good match. And yeah, it was clubbing.
I would say. But yeah, he did well versus that one. Like I say, Positronium, he's a really good player too, and that just shows you how good Panda is as well. So he did well in that one. Man. So anything else about it before we move on to the round of 8? Nothing there? Alright, so that's the round of 16 done. Very good games there. The round of 8, though, it gets even tighter, as it's supposed to. And we're going to start off with one heck of a match, as Dark mentioned. It was Dark versus Panda, 1 versus 8. 43-6 to 40,000.4, a 3.2 thousand margin of victory for Dark, but both contestants over 40k in that match.
That was fun.
I was pissed to have not been there.
That is the most practiced match I've ever done in my entire life. 0 remnant will forever be burned into my brain. Jesus. Like, I know the spawn points of those stupid nullifiers, the strategy. If it pops, I can tell you what's on the other side, what group, like, I did that way too much. And that was the only chance I had. The only reason he lost was not from skill, it was just experience. That was it. If it had been random map, random enemy, he'd have beat the crap out of me, 100%.
Like I say, it was a well-fought match. Whenever I casted that, I had no idea who was going to win. And honestly, the point margin, 3.2 thousand, you think that's all right at the end, but it was still back and forth.
Yeah, that only happened at the end. I mean, we were essentially changing lead up through the 5th round, I think.
I think it was about.
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 or 5 or so. And then 6, I had some really good nullifiers, and that kind of started the trend.
Usually going into Extraction, if you have about a 3,000 point margin of victory at the moment, you should be okay, usually, to take the game. If you're under 3k, it's still a toss-up. It's not impossible to get back from 3,000 points down, but it's very difficult.
Yeah, and then it was also the character choice, because as we'll see in the future in another match, the Kineticus, or the Adept, although it can outscore the Juggernaut, it can't out-survive the Juggernaut, and the 0 is just, it's tight, and you're constantly in combat.
That is correct, and we did see that in one of our matches upcoming that we'll talk about. But anything else about Dark versus Panda? A potential best game of the year, which we'll be voting on later.
Best game of the year.
Anything else about that one?
Wait, who won that match?
Dark, by a margin of 3.2 thousand points, 43-6 to 40,400.
So the kid was taken down a peg. Okay, good job.
Not a big peg. Not a big peg.
Well, the thing is, they were both over 40,000 points.
I don't think anyone's lost a match of 40,000 until then.
No, I don't think so.
That's nuts.
There's
another one, though. There's another one
There's
coming.
a one that was very close, where both contestants were almost at 40. And we'll get there. But alright, moving on from that, we have an even closer one. The 2 versus 7, we have the 2 seed Cleveland versus the 7th seed Zoll. And Cleveland actually won that game by a margin of 600 points. 31-9 to 31-3. Very close, and that was also a toss-up. Although I think more people were actually leaning Zoll for a while.
I was, just because, like we were saying before, Cleveland hadn't been playing a lot. Even after his first match, he still wasn't playing often.
But Cleveland, like Cleveland does, like last year, just comes out of nowhere and starts doing well.
Sneaky.
Practice? He's like, yeah, I got 20 minutes I can play, jumps on, kicks ass. All right, guys, see you in 3 weeks. Oh, it's crazy.
That's how Cleveland plays, it seems, and he does well with it. They say he made it to the championship last year. Like I said, this year didn't make it as far, still made it decently far though, but like I say, he comes out of there and gets a win in that top right section of the bracket where some of our contestants really haven't been playing too terribly much. I think Zol overall, from what I've heard, he might have been the favorite to win that quadrant, but no, Cleveland takes that win. So anything else about it? All right. Yep, so go ahead. You had something?
Oh, I was saying, nay, nothing.
All right, so we'll go ahead and move on. So now we have 3 versus 11, 3-seed Dragon versus the 11th seed Richard. In probably one of our strangest matches, we have a Dragon win at 28-5 to 22-6, 5.9 thousand margin of victory. Who would like to start off with that one?
Is this the one with the Is this the one with the predators?
Yes.
Oh, that one. Oh, what happened? What were you guys thinking?
So I was out running errands when that video uploaded. So I stopped to get lunch, and then I watched the video, and I was laughing into my shawarma. That was hilarious.
Oh my god. You guys might have noticed that my commentary was a little bit different in that video.
It was kind of like irritated.
It was sarcastic. Yeah. It was hard not to be sarcastic during it, but you know what? Our contestants, if they agree to do something like that, they can do it. It's up to them. It's up to them. But it was a different match, but still a good one, I'll say, even though I was super sarcastic during it at the time. But you know what? No harm, no foul. Dude, we were still under half an hour.
That was some of your best commentary ever.
I disagree, but it might have been most sarcastic, but I think that came later in the semifinals. Yes,
Yeah, if in the middle of that match you'd have been like, I need a drink, nobody would have blamed you.
No, honestly, I think that helped the atmosphere with that one. Everybody knew it was almost like a gag game going into it. It was something different, though. They still played it. It was under half an hour, so we got the full recording. So, no harm, no foul. It was a fun one. I'll give everyone credit for that. But anything else about that great game before we move on?
More thoughts from Richard and Dragon?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
No, not yet.
It happened that I agreed to his stupidity because I lost a practice match, so... If I had won that practice match, it would have been like Sentinel v Sentinel.
Oh,
and that would have been something. That would have been a lot closer, I think, too. And you know what? Probably would have been a quicker game, just saying. But it's all good, it's all good. But alright, Dragon isn't here to defend himself, so we're just going to keep on going. Might revisit that one maybe in a little bit, if he gets here somewhat soon. But moving on, we got one more in the round of 8. We have the 4 versus 12, which was the 4 seed USA versus the 12th seed Perfect. Perfect did take that game. It was 34-5 to 32-7, a difference of only 1.8 thousand, so it was still very close. So any thoughts on that one?
What happened, USA?
All the forfeits screwed him over.
Did not know. Yeah. I literally, that was the first game I played.
Oh, really?
Because he was in the forfeit triangle, which I'm going to kind of call it.
What I'm saying, I kind of despise how much we had newbies, and it's nothing for the people who are new. The fact that we had a group of 40 say where they were going to play, and we literally realized we had about 12 that actively played, pissed me off.
I understand, and we will get into the full section of that coming up soon after we discuss the rest of the games here. But I understand. I know it was a hard
good
game.
He deserved the win. I wish I could have actually played more than just one round.
I understand. I'd like to say, It'd be great to have you back next year. Next year might honestly be our last year. If not, the year after that will be. But you still put up a heck of a fight. Only a 1.8 thousand point difference between Perfect, who was doing extremely well throughout the whole tournament. So still a good game there by both of our contestants. So that actually wraps up our round of 8 here. Now we're moving on to the semifinals. So the semifinals in the championship this year was the best 2 out of 3. And we had some very good games there. So we'll move on to our first semifinal series, which was the 1 seed Dark versus the 12 seed Perfect. In game 1, Perfect took that by 201 points, 39,649 to 39,448. Only 201 points separated them for a perfect victory. So, any questions about that one?
I mean, I knew I was gonna lose overall when that one went down because I knew I didn't. I don't have a strategy for what's the last map we were on? Vertigo? Is that Vertigo?
Yeah.
I didn't have a plan for Vertigo, so I knew.
Oh no, that was Aqua. That was Aqua, I think.
No. But I knew the tiebreaker was Vertigo. So we played on Aqua, and I had some experience from Aqua from last year's championship match. But yeah, I knew when I lost that one, it didn't matter because I wouldn't be able to win the third. Like I just didn't have a strategy. So. And a 201, like that's good. I feel comfortable with a 201 point loss.
It was still very close.
Yeah, that was good. I got a little bit of revenge on the next one, but yeah.
Yep. Real quick though, I did make a mistake here though. Real quick, let me just make a quick correction. In the USA versus Perfect game, it was 36-8 to 33-1, a 3.7 thousand point margin of victory. I accidentally read the wrong thing.
It was a large margin. It was not.
It was only 3.7. I read the wrong thing. The 1.8 is actually the last game for the semifinals. So I went too far down in my notes. But the USA versus Perfect game, 4 versus 12, 36.8 to 33-1, a 3.7 margin of victory for Perfect. So I just misread that. So I just wanted to clear that up. But it was still a very good game overall. But yeah, moving on from that after the correction. Like I said, game 1 though, Dark, as you said, very close game, hard fought. Anybody else have any takes on that one? In game 1, yeah, where Perfect took it by about 201 points. Alright, so we'll move on to game 2 then. So Dark took this game 39-1 to 35-2, a 3.9 thousand point margin of victory. So Dark did take that by a decent margin, got a little bit of a lead on him. So anything about that one? Gave it to you.
He gave it to me. Because I said it was to pick whichever one first, and he went with the map and he picked 0, and I said Remnant, and we all know I practiced the shit out of that, so he gave it to me.
That's what happened. Yeah, so... Yeah. As soon as I heard him say 0 for his map, I knew you were going to say Remnant. I knew that was going to happen.
I reached over for a little bit of secret weapon and was like, "Yep, I'm going to sit back on this one."
Well, you got that one there. You did tie it up in the series, so it was 1 apiece going into game 3. But you kind of knew what might happen with game 3. It was a more open map, and this is what I accidentally read before. This was the 34-5 to 32-7, 1.8 thousand margin of victory for Perfect to win the semifinals in game 3. So any thoughts on that one? It being an open map might have been the decider.
So this was also the first time I took a week break between match 1 and match 2 because we were on that side of the bracket. We were way ahead of the right side of the bracket, but we did match 2, went directly into match 3, and I didn't practice this at all, so I knew there wasn't a shot in hell. In retrospect, I probably should have taken a page out of Dragon's book and ran the Sorry Sentinel on that one.
It would have given you some long range, and you could probably get those spawns a little quicker.
If you could have detonated the spawns before the grenade went off, that would have been a little bit better.
True, and that might have helped you out. And like I say, at the end of that game, it was only 1.8 thousand points, so it was still within reach, but like I say, at the end, Perfect did take it. He was up 2-1 in the series, and he took the semifinals in the best 2 out of 3, so we'll give it to Perfect. He went to the championship. But in our other semifinal, it was the 2C Cleveland versus the 3C Dragon. We only played 2 games here. In game 1, Dragon won 34-2 to 28-4, difference of 5.8 thousand points. So Dragon took that, and I wonder if he's back yet. Doesn't seem like it, so he can't defend himself or say anything. Oh, there he is. There he is. So Dragon, we are on game 1 of the semifinal. I think it's Jeff's phone. He's trying to pull some stuff in the chat, but that's okay. But yeah, Dragon, so what do you have to say about game 1 of your semifinal match versus Cleveland?
What do you have to say for yourself?
Which one was that one?
Oh my god.
Oh my god, he's asleep.
It was game 1 versus Cleveland in semifinals, 34-2 to 28-4. You won by 5.8 thousand points. I believe you were on Vertigo?
No.
Or no, Nimbus.
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 Yeah,
Get the Mountain Dew and come back to us.
No, I'm trying.
Do the do.
I'm trying to think.
You were both in the center, I believe, of that map.
No. So the whole thing on that match right there was Cleveland is the one that picked. Is he the one that picked? No. He's the one that picked the enemy, wasn't it?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think he might have picked the enemy.
Okay. Yeah.
I just know you were both sitting up in the very center of that map, just destroying everything.
I was a side sentinel, and he messed up because he didn't pick the sentinel spot at the beginning. On wave 1 through 3, I believe. On wave 1 through 3, he stayed out of the sentinel, and then he found out the sentinel spot was the better place. So from 4 to 7, he joined me on the sentinel. I think the biggest problem I had on that map was the Krogans that kept knocking off the middle.
And it actually knocked both you off of there sometimes.
So honestly, I think I messed up because I should have bought fire ammo for the Krogans instead of a disruptor, but that's always for next year.
Fair enough. And Zeno, did you have something to say? I believe you were saying something there. Okay, no, fair enough. What were you going to say, though, just to reassure? Just about what? And it might have been too late by the time he realized and jumped back over there with Dragon. Like I say, it was a difference of 5.8 thousand points. The Dragon got the victory there. He won game 1, and then he would also go on to win game 2. 40,500 to 34,100, difference of 6.4 thousand points, so higher point margin there. Dragon won the series with only 2 games, so Dragon, what about your second game? Anything to say?
I was having fun.
And that was on 0, and you were up big early.
For the loss from the year before.
No, that right there was just for fun. That was a...
Revenge is fun.
No, so what was it? We had that match right after the first match. And I was sleepy when I came into the first match. I was literally about to take a nap. Or go to sleep, one or two. Well, that one woke me up. So when I woke up, I was just having a blast during the second match. I wasn't even keeping track of anything.
Early on, it might have been wave 2 or wave 3. You were at like 8,000 points. You were up.
Yeah, I was just... nothing existed to me after that.
So you were falling So you were falling asleep, so you were pulling an Anthony Hitman.
No, I said before match 1, before the first match between Cleveland and I was about to take a nap, or I was about to go to sleep. And then it's like, oh yeah, I had that match today, so I jumped in with that match, and I was tired, sleepy. So after that first match,
it woke you up.
Woke me up. Yeah, woke me up for the second match, and then yeah.
You were ready to go after that.
Yeah, I was really just having fun through that whole match with Cleveland.
Yeah, and you poured it on there. Like I say, Cleveland is no slouch. He's a good player, but you poured it on early and you kept it there. So 6.4 thousand point margin of victory, 40,500, 34,100. Good win. Only 2 games in that series, and that put you in the championship. So anything else to say about that semifinal before we move to our championship games?
No, I got nothing else.
Anyone else?
Should we take a break? Should we take a break from our sponsors?
There are no sponsors here right now, and I know what you're thinking, Jeff.
I thought it was Pepsi.
Oh my God, no!
Wasn't it Pepsi?
See,
That's
exactly.
what one guy said. That's what one guy said who we met, but I don't think that was true.
Of course it wasn't, because Pepsi doesn't sponsor virgins.
God.
What was that, Tips?
No, did we get your comments about the Predator match?
Oh yeah, so before we move on,
right,
actually, Dragon, since you're back, Dragon, about your Predator match, would you like to defend everything in that one?
It was a fun game.
I said, what were you thinking?
What do you mean? Hey, this is the Predator match. All came down to Richard. The Predator match happened because Richard lost. That's the end of it.
Richard, anything to say?
Someone lost a drunk bet.
Basically.
But Dragon, no, seriously, whenever we were talking about it before, when it came up, it was still a good match overall. It was under 30 minutes. We still got the video in, good sportsmanship, and something different to watch. It was a good match. I'll give you both credit for it.
I will say that the biggest thing I liked about the match was your commentary.
I mentioned that as well. It was a little bit different, I said. You know, it was something different in the tournament. And you guys can do that stuff if you so choose, if you agree. I'm just here to run the game, and that's what happened. And you know what? I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. I was just being sarcastic, but I had fun with it.
It's not always easy being the tournament master.
It's not. There's a lot of work that goes into it behind the scenes, but I do enjoy putting it on for you guys, and I'll at least try to do it for 1 or 2 more years, so we'll try to keep it going. But with that said, let's move on to our championship games. So in Game 1, it was Perfect that took the victory over Dragon, 35-5 to 31-8, 3.7 thousand point margin of victory. So anything to say about that one?
He cheated.
Oh, here we go. Here comes the controversy. Anyone else?
Yeah, let's talk about character selection.
Yeah, that's gonna say if you didn't. What the fuck, Dragon?
He cheated.
Dragon's like, I'm falling asleep. Sorry, guys.
Is that the only thing you have to say, Dragon?
That's all
I didn't see any foul play, and I'm basically a ref.
Hey, he was stealing my spawn. Okay, that's it.
That's the point of the tournament.
No, no. I called the spawns and he stole them.
Oh my god. Anybody beside Dragon have anything to say about it?
Oh, I see. Perfect is supposed to sit in the corner and do nothing. Yeah, that's right. I remember now.
There's just a lot of saltiness about this one, it seems.
No, the truth is we were all hell dived, and that was, yeah.
Oof, we're on such a hell dive.
So does
yeah, we were
does the thing with people not playing as much come into effect here later in the tournament? Because yes, we did have hell divers
say
come
people
out,
not playing enough because democracy had to be spread, sir.
I know it's a fun game, but we were still in the midst of the tournament.
Democracy.
I was drinking my cup of liberty.
Tournament going into February releases. It's not a good thing.
I know. The tournament ran a lot longer than I expected, than you guys expected, but we just had a bunch of delays, and we eventually got everything done, but hopefully next year, the changes that we'll make during the rest of the live stream, we will address that situation. But that was Game 1, but it all came down to Game 2, and Perfect did Win game 2, 35-60 to 35-19, a 41-point margin of victory, the closest one of this year. So Perfect won the 2023 Andromeda Madness tournament. So anything about that game, our last one we had?
Okay,
Thanks, Dragon, for letting down the country that we stole from you.
Yeah, that language got me
Oh my god!
Alright, Dragon, I know you want to say it. You may as well say it right now.
Oh.
I'm defending all of you for letting
Hmm.
You let us down, Dragon. You let us down.
What about that game, though?
That, I think, was a good game.
It really was.
I was on my, what's that called? Unlike Cleveland, what I just went through, on that one, I was actually sitting up, hitting buttons, doing everything I possibly could to try to win that match. And he just, the way he played the Juggernaut was bad. And he won. That's what I can say right there. The way he played the Juggernaut was bad, but he won. That's amazing.
But I think Dark had something earlier. Your character selection for that game. What were you thinking going into it?
Well, my character selection?
Correct.
Yeah, I'm shocked you didn't run the Juggernaut, because you and I did Jug v Jug on that, and you beat me.
Yeah,
and that was my playground.
But I already told you guys from the beginning, I don't want to play the Jug. I want to play any other character that where I have to try to win, and that's what I like. So
Gentleman's agreement.
It's not a gentleman's agreement. It's just we all know what the Jug can do. If you guys want a Jug, great, want the Jug. We know what the human adept can do. Okay, we know all this stuff, and it's like, well, he's going on the Jug. I'm not going to do a Jug versus Jug. Well, we've seen that. I'm going to do a human adept versus a Jug just to have some taste to the thing. Same thing with the Sentinel. I said, well, he's doing the Kinesis, I'm going to do the Sentinel again, just to build a I got this match. So I just want to change things up, and I don't like using the Jug.
It's well stated, and I understand you wanted to play something different. And it was still a very close match. At the end, it was anybody's game. I mean, 41 points. I mean, that's just assist points at that point.
Yeah. The first game he cheated. The second game he did not cheat.
And honestly, that could be another contender for best game of the tournament. It could be. We'll get to the selection later. We'll get to that selection a little bit later in the live stream, but that could be another contender. But overall, those are all the matches that we played, discussed. Anybody else have anything to add about those matches before we move on to something else? You know it's close then. We've had a couple of those in the past before. But like I say, it was a very tight game, and it was our last game of the overall tournament. That was an amazing way to end it. But yeah, anyone else before we move on to our second part here? I don't think we have any other takers, so I guess we'll go ahead and move on. So that's all the games discussed. So I have our end of season ranking here, and this is subject to change, obviously, because next year we're probably going to have a little bit of a different system, which we will discuss later. But from the players that played, I'll go from the bottom to the top. Here's where everybody ended up. We had 27 Ninja Scuba, 26 Breaker, 25 Lead Pink, 24 Hitman, 23 Obsidian, 22 Avocados, 21 Tayun, 20 Tibbs, 19 Red Dread, 18 Will, 17 Medium Emerald, 16 Megaton, 15 Apex, 14 Got, 13 Jeff, 12 Linguist, 11 Positronium, 10 Jace, 9 Silverwolf, 8 USA, 7 Zoe, Galaxy Pan is at 6, Richard is at 5, Cleveland is at 4, Dark is at 3, Dragon is at 2, and our winner of the 2023 Andromeda Madness tournament is Real Perfect in the number 1 position. So that is the end of season seeding.
2.
He eventually got that 2 spot that he always has been talking about.
I'm glad somebody else took it that I know. Not just some random person that invited himself to the party. Anyway.
God. Well, that is our end of season seeding right now, but that is subject to change once we get everything going next year. So moving on from that...
Number 20.
Yeah, that's higher than I expected.
Yeah.
Yeah, so moving on from that, that's all of our games. Let's go ahead and talk a little bit now about the consolation bracket, or really the lack thereof. Unfortunately, the consolation bracket was canceled due to a lot of forfeits. So let me see here real quick. We will talk about the actual forfeits a little bit later, though, but Linguist, I know you host that. If you would like to talk about any of those matches, though, or maybe some highlights of some of the games you did get through, go ahead and discuss them now.
Get enough matches to get any of the good ones in.
Okay.
There's not really anything. I mean, the people who played, they did well. There's just everything kind of played out the way we were expecting it to. The ones we really wanted to see would have been farther down the line.
No, fair enough. But like I say, we tried to get it done, but due to forfeits this year, it just didn't happen, which is okay. We can still go on with the main tournament, and we'll go on from there.
It's not okay.
I understand.
I wanted Miss Congeniality.
I understand, but like I say, we weren't able to get the consolation bracket in.
You guys laugh all you want. I want that fucking title.
I know.
Anyway.
Well, maybe in the future we can finally get that rolling again, but we will talk about the forfeits in our own section, though. But I'm going to go ahead and move on to the Andromeda Madness tournament things that are staying the same. And there's one thing that I have listed right now, and that is the best of 3 games for the semifinals and up. I like that format. I think you guys like that format, so we'll go ahead and keep that for next year.
Yeah, that was winning.
Yeah, it was very
Always
good.
A bridesmaid.
But it was good. So if you guys just want to say, what did you really think, though, about that semifinal and championship setup with the best 2 out of 3?
I thought it was good. I think we were all asking for it for a while, so no complaints there.
It was fun. It gave us some good matches.
I was gunning for
the only thing I would
take the championship.
The only thing I would like is, so we had the problem with the left side being way ahead. So we were doing semifinals, and they were still in round of 8. It would have been more fun to see the round 1 over here, the round 1 over there, the round 2 over here, the round 2 over there, instead of just knocking them all out, because it kind of took away the mystique, the planning.
And I think
Since
a lot of that...
we were so far ahead.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that will be fixed with how we're probably going to do it next year, which we will get to a little bit later. But overall, that system worked out really well. Gave us some more games, gave us some exciting games. And you weren't out right away if you lost a game in the semifinal championship, so I think that was a good way to do it. But I really can't do it for the whole series because it would take forever. So we're just going to keep it with the semifinals and up, and that's one thing I've already decided on coming into the stream. But that's the thing staying the same. Things that are changing, there really are none at the moment I'm personally thinking of. So at this point, I'll open it up to some discussion. Are there any things that we might be able to change a bit for next year, or what do you guys think?
I think we should change my number 2 seat to number 1 seat, because we all in agreement that Perfect did cheat on the first game.
That could happen if we reverse some rules from the previous year. That's actually coming up, Dragon, so stay tuned.
Wait,
but anything else?
For real? Dragon actually had a real point?
Correct. It's actually a real point because of how we might structure the regular season.
Okay, so just thinking out loud. I know we're saying... I know there's a possibility that it could be a smaller group next year, and you only want to do the best of 3 with the semifinal and up. But is there any type of mechanism to say, hey, if a match is within a certain margin of distance, then it goes to a best of 3? So if it's within 500 points, then say that will trigger a best of 3, even if it's in the round of 16. Versus saying, sorry, you lost to a 200-point match, as opposed to the other side lost by a 7,000 difference, and you both lose and both get dropped out. Does anybody see what I'm saying?
That could be a thing, and honestly, I would be up for a vote on that one. So this will be our first vote of the live stream. So Linguist, go ahead and get ready. I'm going to write down my stuff as well. So let me go ahead and put down here.
Explain that again.
So the whole reason I'm doing
Walk me
it.
through it.
Okay, so I'm making what's going to be known as the Jeff rule. If you lose a match by let's say under 500 points, if it's close, it's not a best of 3 round, and you lose by a tight margin, then that triggers a best of 3 scenario in that particular fight. So you do it again. Now, if it's most times people lose, it's greater than 1,000 points. The majority of times, that's true. But the few times that it's been within 500 points or so, everyone's like, that was an upset, or that was something crazy, or that was just really good, and that's good content, then let that trigger a best of 3 situation.
I like that, actually.
I like that.
So we will open this up to a vote. Linguist, whenever you're ready, let us know, and we will start the voting, and you call us out, and we will say yes or no.
All right, so Union, you said yes?
I'm going to say yes for this rule.
Dark says yes. I say yes.
Obviously.
Jeff was
I say yes.
Yep. Tibbs.
I say aye.
Hold on one sec. I like
501.
Within 500.
I think 500 is a good number.
Yep.
Sorry, 501's over the line.
Yeah, the cutoff's got to be somewhere.
So this rule would have been applied also during the Dark Star Jeff Rock's 9-point thing.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
That's another scenario. What it would have happened.
We apply that.
We didn't think of it then. This is a new rule.
That would have applied both of those times.
And that's why this is your rule.
That's why it's the Jeff rule. It's the Jeff rule.
Okay.
Okay. What did Tibbs say?
She said aye.
Zeno, what are you thinking? We are already over the majority, I believe.
Well, I know Dragon's going to say no just to be
let's
against
just see
the grain,
what the vote is. I still would like to hear how many.
Only thing I would add to that, is that going to be a classic 3-game format, or are you just going to run the same match again?
I think it would. So that one would be set in stone. That would be essentially that would become round 1.
Yeah.
And then you go in and do another match, and if the first person that won the first one wins again, then it's over.
Right, but I think what Rich is asking is if it's the same set, same map, same enemy, same.
Probably
classes.
just the same setup. You can pick a different character and stuff like that, but it's the same map, same enemy.
Or we could do random selection. I mean, we can split the hairs on it later. Like you could say whoever won the first one gets the first pick on either the map or the enemy type. There's a couple different ways to play it.
Oh, that could be good. Then the person who got the higher score gets a little bit of bonus to the fact that they didn't actually.
Yeah, they at least get to pick first, so they're not getting absolutely screwed.
All right.
Yeah.
I think we're in consensus there. If he is not here, then we will skip him because we are over the majority.
Well, we'll just say Dragon said no. To be difficult.
Rich, you said yeah?
Sure, why not?
Yeah, okay, so we're definitely in the majority.
All right. So we're good there. So that does pass, so that will also be for next year. All right, we have our first new rule, the Jeff rule.
Eyes have it. Someone bang the javelin. The gavel. The gavel.
All right, so the Jeff rule is in. It'll be in play next year. All right, is there anything else for things to change? Go ahead. You're fine. Go ahead.
Boo.
Oh my God.
Quibbling. But if you don't have the PAW 10, not the variant, the PAW 10 Max, you don't have that. A PAW 10 is still going to beat a Predator S Bulwark. So there's no weapon that even comes close. Like, I don't see a universe where, hey, you can run your shorty with a Bulwark on, but this guy's still running the PAW. You got no chance. I think it's more skill, honestly. It's just playing the game.
And if you don't, like, that gives you an incentive to play more as well, to get that gear before the tournament starts, or to start next year and try to get that gear together so you have all your stuff maxed out. It gives you incentive to get all your stuff.
Look at Apex from last year.
Putting in time ahead of time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Look at Apex from last year. He didn't have it.
The only way that makes sense is if you ban N7 weapons.
Yeah, that's true. He only had like a
sense.
PAW 2 for last year's tournament.
And he did well. He did really well. It really comes down to skill, too, and by just having your base weapons, it requires the player to be aware of a lot more.
And the technical mods isn't as much of a crapshoot as the weapons are. You can knock out your technical mods in 2 or 3 days if that's all you're buying.
Yeah, that's really easy.
It's not too rough.
Well, it's not going to help you unless there's a referee right next to you. And even
your
that's probably
biggest draw for that is going to be
reduction.
If hack and upload come up, you then give the advantage to the person who has the higher ranked bulwark.
Mm-hmm.
Right, it's like 40%.
Isn't the bulwark with 3 players around you that also have it, isn't that almost like a 50% reduction in damage?
Yes,
40.
And a rank 1 is
yeah,
it's a lot.
I think just to get away from all the extra percentiles with the variant weapons, I think it's just probably good to keep the base weapons how we've always run the tournament since its start in 2019. And like to say, if you're thinking about how people have lower rank weapons and technical mods, I mean, that gives you an incentive to try to play a lot more before the tournament to try to catch up a little bit. I mean, you're going to have people with all skill levels.
Gentlemen's agreements for no N7 weapons.
And I think I know what you're going for. You're trying to make it so the new people at least have a chance. But I understand your intent. You're trying to find a solution without fully, defining the problem. But I think the problem is kind of self-solving, because if Jeff is going to play a new person, and he knows it's a new person, he's not going to bring his best character, his best kit, his best strategy. He's going to pick something kind of fun, and he's not going to bring it. Yeah, he's because he could pick any character on the map, and he's going to win. But he's going to make it somewhat fair and fun. And I think all of the true veterans have that mentality. None of us go in there.
I think a lot of us did that this year.
Yeah, nobody goes in there and freaking ties the bandana around their head to go whoop up someone that's a 200 Apex. Like, nobody does that. So the only way for people that are not experienced at the game to get better is to play with us more. And there is a way to do that, hopefully coming next year. But I understand your intent here. Yeah, nothing's going to help them. You could give them the best kit in the game, and they're still an inexperienced player.
To that same point, we have seen the common kits carry very clear. Like, I've won with the human engineer the whole tournament. Mm-hmm. Like, we've seen the fact that the adept, if they can't get good with the gun, if they don't have the guns, the powers can carry them through it.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
They need to get good at using the power kits
that do that. Yeah.
Right. It takes you maybe 3 months to max out gold characters, right? The Krogan mercenary, right alone, can carry a platinum on his back with powers. Right? The engineers, the adepts, the vanguard. We've seen so many vanguards pop up, and they don't even use the gun.
Yep.
Yeah, my first year into the tournament, I was nervous as hell because it's like, oh, there's no variants. So I relied on those powers, and thanks to USA, it's like, you need to do this with your powers, make sure crowd control's like, okay, that's all I did, and that's how I climbed my way up.
Adept was born.
Yeah, so It's like, how can I play aggressively and defensively at the same time with non-variant? So, okay, powers. So that's where I, you know.
And it's all about playing the game more. Like I said, the more you play,
Yeah.
better you get. The more stuff you get, the more competitive you'll be. But do you want us, Zeno, to go ahead and put it to a vote, or no? Okay. So I think you might know the outcome here. I don't think it's going to really do too terribly much.
What?
But all right. So anything else on that topic, or we have something else after that we want to talk about? Maybe things changing.
Can we do the whole tournament in Helldivers 2? Is that an option? Can we put that to vote?
Wrong stream to talk about that. Wrong stream to talk about that.
Is that off the table?
That is off the table in this stream.
Oh, okay.
I think everybody in the chat right now is currently playing Helldivers instead of Andromeda, so that's telling.
I was just asking.
That is off the table as of this stream. So,
for a friend. I was asking for a friend.
Verified. Who knows?
We're just going to let Dragon shoot everyone in the head. We're just going to let that happen.
How many, friendly fire you could...
We're just going to let Dragon shoot everyone in the face.
But other than Helldivers 2 stuff, I know it's a good game, but other than that, is there anything else in terms of things that might need changed for next year you'd like to see changed?
Everyone on PS5s.
Not yet. I am still holding out for that one.
You know what?
I can't hold out. I cannot sit there for 30 minutes waiting for it to load anymore.
I would really like to see Linguist as seed number 1. So
and maybe next year you could get there. We'll see.
To quote Richard, do better.
No, Richard has to be
you missed
he would
that
have
one,
to be an observer
Linguist.
the whole time. He wouldn't be able to play because he's my kryptonite apparently.
Oh my god.
That's what he said earlier when you left, Linguist. He did do better.
I believe it was get good.
Well, you know what? It's okay, because now we have a game that's got friendly fire, so I will take out my aggression there. Let's go play, Rich.
Alright. So, I take it there's no other suggestions, right?
Can we get friendly fire added to Andromeda?
I would love that, first of all, but they're not going to do it.
Interesting.
But anything else in terms of like actual rule changes or other things? I think probably not.
Other than the obvious elephant in the room, are we going to talk about that next?
What's the obvious elephant?
Well,
is that the qualifiers?
Yep.
How it's going to work?
Not yet. That's a little later. That's a little later coming up. The next thing we're actually talking about.
That's kind of a change.
I know. We will get there. So the next thing, actually, might want to go over some statistics if we can bring anything up. Linguist, you got anything? Because I do have one thing myself that I noticed whenever we were going over the games. Let me go back to my notes here. I think it was in the round of 8.
You mean for the classes that won? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, anything like that. But I'm going to do a number statistic real quick.
I didn't get a chance to update it.
You're good, but I'm going to look at a number statistic real quick. So, in the round of 8, let me see here. Oh, wait, no. No, sorry, round of 16. If I'm correct, let me look at these numbers real quick. There was only one score by all of our contestants under 30,000 points, and it was 6 versus 11.
Wow.
It was the gentleman's agreement. Yes.
Yeah, because we both picked characters that didn't point.
Yeah, Richard got 33.5, you Linguist got 29.5. I'm just saying, it's not that it's real bad. Yep, you're good, Truck.
Bow out. Yeah, y'all
yep,
take
you're good,
care.
Truck.
Good stream.
Yep, Truck, good having you. We'll see you later.
Take care, Truck.
But I just noticed that during the gentleman's agreement that was the score. What actually?
So does that mean that Dragon and Rich scored better than that?
No, absolutely not.
No, they were in the round of 8. That was the round of 8.
Oh, in round of 16. I see. Okay.
That's why I brought it up, because your gentleman's agreement, you were on the losing side, obviously, there, but I think you might have had some spawn trouble there,
regrets.
too. Was that the case, actually?
No, it's because he just played it better than me. I mean, he was adapting to it more than I was, and yeah,
nice.
no spawn trouble that I can remember.
Okay, fair enough. I was just wondering. But that's my one number I found whenever we were looking through everything here. Is there anything else? Oh, such as the Sentinel having a pretty good year this year.
Yeah, 3 wins, no?
Oh, we can't really count Sentinel v Sentinel matches though. I'd say only Sentinel versus someone else.
Okay, so 2 wins then.
So two legitimate wins. I mean, that's more than what the rest of the whole tournament combined.
Yeah, and they weren't like wasn't Rich's win with that? It was a really good margin too, wasn't it?
Who was he facing again? Give me a
match?
second. Who was he facing?
Rich,
Rich,
who did you play against with
Red
the
Dread.
Sentinel?
Red, so that was 6
Yep.
versus what? 22. Yeah, 6 versus 22.
That was versus
It
an
was-
operator.
Hold on 1 second. Oh, it was over here. It was round 1. No, it wasn't. Round 2. Oh, wait a minute. My notes are slightly out
That'd
of
be
order.
round 2.
Yeah, I was going to say it had to be, because you were... Oh, no, sorry, you were 11, Richards. I'm reading the wrong thing. 11 versus 22. Here you are. 37.5 to 30,600. 6.9 thousand margin of victory. 6.9's good.
That's a freaking.
It's almost a run over.
Mm-hmm.
But no, that was a good game.
Sentinel had her year for sure. She's definitely MVP as far as kits go.
And we were wondering when the
Last
Sentinel
year
would
it was the
get a win.
Kineticist. This year it was the Sentinel.
And actually, speaking of that, has the Juggernaut ever won in a championship game?
I don't think so.
In a championship?
Yeah,
I
in
can
a
tell you I
championship game.
actively avoided it when I used it.
Yeah, I think that's why, because most of us are trying not to use it as like our go-to for everything.
Okay, but like I say, it's still technically, that's another statistic. Perfect did get a win in a championship game with the Juggernaut, so that is something to take note.
Usually the championship games are pretty varied what we see for kits. Like we had, correct me if I'm wrong, in order of operanda, it was what, Operator the first year, then we had Vanguard, then we had
Engineer?
Engineer?
Yeah, Human Engineer.
And then Dark Side, what did you bring last year?
The Adept.
The Adapt.
Yep.
Yeah,
And we had
so that
Jug
was
this
the
year.
first year we've had either a Jug or Commando win, because we haven't had a Commando win either.
No, so there's some characters that are still really good that haven't gotten an overall tournament win yet. All right.
That reminds me of stuff we'd been kicking around before. It's like after the round of 8, no repeats. Once you use a character, it's done.
I think that's going to be too difficult to employ next year. Or not too difficult, maybe. It's just that I don't really personally like that format yet. So
I like no repeat in the bust of 3. That I would be okay with. Make them play more than one kit.
So,
I
That seems a fair mid ground.
Yeah, I still don't like that.
I mean, we can put it
Are we
up
gonna
for a
still-
vote if you want.
I
Are we
would-
still gonna do Are we still gonna do an All Stars edition?
As of right now, Jeff, probably no, because right now I've got a lot on my
So
plate.
I could get my revenge match with USA and that perma-kill that it wasn't intentional.
You're talking about the championship match a couple years ago.
I guess so.
But yeah, I mean, we can put it up for a vote if you guys want. So we can. So let's
that's
go
one I
ahead.
think is worth visiting maybe later on when we're not tired.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
No,
so just
not
revisit it later.
No, I'm talking the no repeats,
No
specifically
repeats.
for best of 3.
Okay, we might be, if we do ever get the, like, I don't know, whatever you were saying, Jeff, with another tournament thing going on, we might be able to do it there as, like, a trial run, just
Like
to see
an
how it would
all-star,
go.
okay.
Yeah, like an all-star one. We might be able to do it there. So, you guys want to just
Okay.
do that then? Maybe put
I'm
a
okay
pin
with
in that
that.
one? Okay. So, we'll just go ahead and do that, then maybe in the future for, like, a different type of tournament, we'll go ahead and focus on that. So moving on there, let me see what else. Any other statistics to talk about, or is that pretty much it? I know I didn't give you guys a lot of time to prepare for these. Any numbers, characters, something like that?
Statistics, pound for pound, the younger generation is going to crush us because Panda was great.
No.
No, oh my god. Dark, how about you, thinking about that statement?
That's not gonna happen.
The Padawan's gone over to the dark side.
Just as long as Dark is there to take them down a notch.
We can all agree he was on the dark side when he started, but yeah, I get where you're
Well,
going.
they were on a collision course, and I think everybody knew it in that top left quadrant. Hey, we're on a collision course. But alright, if that's the end of our statistics section, we can go ahead and move on to probably one of our more controversial sections. This is the forfeit situation. This year we had a lot of forfeits. I think we had maybe about 6 or 7 or so total.
The scientific term is a metric fuck ton. Yeah.
Yes, so it is an issue, and hopefully we can talk a little bit about it here. So does anybody have any opening statements for this section?
I'd like it to be invite only from now on.
Yes.
So what exactly do you mean by that? Just like somebody that's already in the tournament?
Meaning you send out a list of invites to people who have played before. And
understood.
If someone new wants to join, they have to be vetted or recommended by minimum 2. Minimum.
Thank you. That's
more
exactly
than 1.
What I said. Vet people.
I'm okay with having new people. We need to have a way to vet them to prove that they're going to be active.
That is true.
Commit.
Yeah.
And one thing that we'll get to here is how we might be changing up the format. So actually, what we'll go ahead and do, since we're this is probably a good section to do it, we'll go ahead and talk about the changes for new and proposed rules, and we'll also talk about the forfeit situation as we do it. So let's go ahead into our rules and ideas. So the first one here, which we'll vote on, is that the Andromeda Madness Tournament consolation bracket will no longer affect the main Andromeda Madness Tournament. So this will just be a pass for yes or no. So we'll vote on this one. So Linguist, if you want to go ahead and get ready to tally the votes, and you can ask people.
I don't know if we need to vote on it. The consolation brackets, I don't think it's happening next year. And it didn't happen enough this year to change anything.
Well, then, if that's the case, then we all just kind of agree that the consolation bracket will no longer affect really the main tournament.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. All right, so we'll just go ahead and fix that for right now. All right, well, that one was easy, so I'm just going to put a yes in my notes here.
Title.
I'm sorry, Jeff.
There's nothing say we can't. There's nothing say we can't have one.
Will be our miscongeniality forever.
Exactly.
All right, so that one passes easily, obviously just by unanimous pretty much vote. The next one's the big one, and this is where the regular season, which you have during the month of October, will help me determine the final rankings before the Andromeda Madness tournament starts. So we're having a regular season. I'm not saying we're going to pose any like game limit. What it's going to be is the top 16 people with the best record overall that I will use that seeding basically, or the records to guide. And then we will go ahead and take them whenever November rolls around, and that's who we'll go with, those top 16. And that way it limits the amount of people, and hopefully it reduces the amount of forfeits. So do you want to discuss that a little bit more first before we vote?
Give us an example.
I don't think so.
What?
Like, if so we had all the people we had this year, he only would have taken the top 16. And that would have been the tournament. Everybody else wouldn't have been part of it because they didn't rank high enough.
But there would have been a regular season, though.
What's that?
There would have been a regular season, though.
What do you mean by regular season is what we're trying to ask?
You play basically tournament matches during the month of October, and you send me the results so I can get your overall record together.
So like in other words, matches that we were doing, but it would be...
So it's not necessarily the previous 16 from the last tournament. It's the
top 16
top reigning 16 for that month of that is going to be open for trials.
You need to be actively playing at the time, and
that I think is a good mid ground. I'm okay with that.
Okay,
that way we don't have say any of us are like nowhere around during the tournament season next year. We don't have a spot that we're just taking up. And we're not even going to be there, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And like I say, it's top 16, so let's say somebody is still a little bit active, but, I mean, let's say it's, let's say Dragon here, for example. He's not playing too terribly much, but he gets, like, maybe a game in, so he's, like, 1-0, but everyone else is still ahead of him a little bit. He might still be able to get in the tournament, or probably will, because he's the second seed overall this year. Maybe he'll be, like, 14th or 13th seed. So he would still be in there. But like I say, he wouldn't be as high up as previous years.
Oh, so I want to play one match? Awesome.
Well, that depends. If a lot of people start playing and a lot of people have good records, you might get bumped down to 17, and then you'd be fighting to get back in the top 16.
Oh, well. Can we ban people?
No.
Ah.
But I think that's a good middle ground, as you said, USA. I mean, it ensures that the people that are in the top 16 are pretty much actively playing, and it should cut down on the number of forfeits by a lot. And it's less games on me to have to run. I mean, if we do have a lot of games going into the best 2 out of 3 with the 500-point rule, the Jeff rule now, I understand that, but it won't be every single game. And we should get it done within the confines of a month and a half or so. I think I'll be pretty confident over that, or at least 2 months at max. So we should get in that year.
So, for example, like, not too short for you, Shorty. She hasn't played at all last year and the year before. So would that be considered?
She'd be
like,
completely
okay,
out pretty much at this point. She'd have a
Okay.
0-0 record. She'd be near the bottom.
Okay.
The only way a 0-0 record would get in is if you were a very high seed the previous year, and only, let's say, 14 people were really playing a lot, and that person was still at least messaging me and said, hey, I'd still like to be a part of it, and I can't really play right now. They could still technically get in with a 0-0 record.
Here's where I'm at with that. I would rather we completely ignore all previous tournaments. Do a set timeline. Let's say we do 6 weeks, right? You have 6 weeks to fight as many people as you want. You can only fight one person once, right?
That's what it's going to be. No,
but
you
I'm
can do
saying no
multiples.
previous standings. So, like, if Short has been out for 2 years and Short suddenly can play for the next 3 months, Short has as much of a chance as Dark from getting in there if they play the same number of games and they win the same number of games.
Correct. That's what I mean, USA. The only way the last year comes into effect is for people that are near the bottom, like of that top 16, if we don't even fill in the top 16.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, you're talking about people very low in the rankings.
For that to work, we also have to agree that it's not going to be up to democratic rule. Union will have final say in everything. So, for example, if someone comes in and plays the top 5 best players that this game has to offer, that's probably on this call right now, and loses to all of them, they still did did well, then Union can decide that, hey, they might have lost 5 times, and they might have had a worse score than someone else, but they had a harder, lineup running going into it, so he gets to pick and choose. We can't have people arguing over, well, I won 4, this person won 3, why are they higher?
Agreed. The thing is, at the end of the day, if you win, you move on. Really, the seeding doesn't mean too terribly much. It's just to, like, help the higher seeds maybe get some earlier games that are easier to give them more time to prepare for the future. That's your prize that you get for basically doing well in the regular season.
Okay.
But that's how we'll pretty much run it, if you guys agree to it. So we'll go ahead and vote on that now, if you don't have anything else to say about it. So, Linguist, do you want to go ahead and get ready for the vote?
I'm ready. You and I assume, are pro, so.
Alright, so I'm...
Tibbs, you're next on the list. Is Tibbs here?
She might have stepped away.
Sorry,
Oh, there she is.
my mic was off. No, yeah, I'll vote yes for this.
Okay. Zeno? About the preseason wins and only taking the top 16 and all that, so the tournament size is smaller and the qualifying process is a little more precise. All right.
Okay.
Dark side?
I'm voting yes, but asterisk that there's going to have to be more decisions made to prepare this, because I don't think it's fair to say it's best of 5. You get a 5-person, because then no one's going to want to play the good players. So if you played 15 matches and won half of them, but half of them were against really good players, half of them really bad.
What if it's
then
not about
Union
wins?
gets the
What
final
if it's about
say?
the amount of points you're scoring? Like
But it would be down to me. I can look at the schedule.
I don't
see
want
who
it to
they
be
play.
based on anything except for Union's decision. Period.
We're
We're just giving him data. Yeah, we're just giving him data to make his decision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I don't want it to be a nitpicking. Well, I scored this much more, and that. like, at the end of the day, everyone who's going to agree to say that we're going to do this has to understand that Union gets final say, period. If you don't like it, tough titties. That's just how it is.
Can I make a recommendation then?
Yep, go ahead.
Tough are the
I
titties.
think what we could do, because Linguist does have a point where the higher ranking players might not be, people don't want to play with them. What we can do is Union could maybe arbitrarily assign a point value system to the top current 16 players from the previous season.
This
So,
would
like,
all be
let's say
kept
that-
secretly for me, though. This would be my data.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
let's say like the top 4 are 4 points each, right? 5 through 8 are 3 points. 9 through 12 are 2 points, and then what was it? 13 through 16 is like 1 point, and then everyone beyond that is like a half point. So you can tally more points by beating the higher players, when you will have to play 8 games to equate the highest seeds. Something
That's fine.
like that.
And I can do
I
that
think-
myself. I can figure all that behind the scenes. You guys don't have to worry about that. I
Yeah.
can take care of that.
And I think that's a pretty decent. It's not a perfect scenario, but it's a good example of something we could try.
No, I understand. And I like I say,
Yeah.
I just, as Dark said, I'm using it for data to help with seeding. So we don't have, like, maybe a Silver Wolf situation or, like, a Cleveland situation from previous years to where they're lower, but they really should be ranked a little bit higher.
Yes, but Linguist does bring up a very valid point where the current top-ranked players will not be played against if there is no benefit to the lower-ranked player.
There is a benefit, as Dark said. If they have a very tough schedule and actually they try to keep the point values to a minimum, even if they lose most of those games, they're still going to be above someone who's like 1-0 or 2-0, but have played other people that are really low on the whole scheme. Like I say, it's down to my discretion about who they have played. It's just giving me data to go off of.
Fair enough.
What we're really boiling this down to define the problem, is we're saying that for next year, the seeding and everything we've done in the past is out the window, and Union, based on the, let's call it, preseason practice matches, will stack how he sees the field at that time, and the top 16 will go in.
And Union's seen quite enough to know what's going to happen. Say I lose all 5 practice matches by a close margin against all the top players, that's not going to throw me out.
No.
Maybe bump me down to number 8 or something. But yeah.
No, for example, I'm going to school next year and I'm having my firstborn. I might not pick up the game again. Well, history dictates I'm going to place pretty high. But if I haven't played in a year and he sees all these new people coming in that are just kicking ass and taking names, he might be like, hey, brother, sorry, man, but this ain't your year. And I'll be like, I understand, because that's the decision we made.
Yep. So I think overall we're decently in agreement over it. And Linguist, yes, I do see all your comments you're putting on my screen, just to let you know.
Oh, I'm not putting anything.
Then who's doing this? But anyways, but yeah, you guys want to go ahead and if you want to go ahead and vote on this thing, guys.
Well, we're already
Halfway
at the
through.
majority.
Yeah, we were at mine.
We are at the
Dragon.
majority. If you just want to get everyone else, just make sure.
I'm with Dark. I think it's good. It needs more clarification down the line.
Okay, that's fine. We can clarify it more whenever we get closer to the tournament next year.
Yeah.
There,
Yeah, we're in
vote-
the majority, even without. Oh, and Jeff. Yeah.
If it comes down
I
to
vote
it-
yes. I vote yes with with
that's
what
the
Dark
majority
said.
now.
Needs more clarification.
Okay.
if it comes down to it, and there's like 19 people that are probably good enough to get in, we can do play-in games at that. That don't have to be recorded, but we could just be like, okay, play in.
Even with that, I mean, because that just breaks
If
the
you
top
have
16
a-
then.
Well, if you're having trouble, there's like 20 people that want in and are good enough to be in.
The
we can
thing
easily
is,
whittle that down to 16. Just
I
by
know.
playing game.
Just by playing in the, like I say, regular season. That's why you play the regular season games.
Right.
So if you're fighting to get in there, you know who you need to beat. You need to beat maybe the 16th or 15th person to make sure you grab that last spot.
Yeah, so this is actually a really good idea from a new person's perspective, because they're going to say, hey, this tournament thing, I'm very interested, let's try that. And we're going to say, well, we're doing essentially practice tryouts right now, and they're going to get to play some of the best players in the game. We're going to say, hey, next you're going to play USA, then you're going to play a match against Jeff, and USA, and then Jeff, and then all of us are going to give information back to Union and say, hey, this guy is pretty good, or this girl, maybe we shouldn't look at her. And that's going to help fuel the top 16. And that person, the new person, is still going to get to play some pretty intense matches. So they're going to get the feeling of being in the tournament, but we're going to have the best structured tournament where actually 16 people want to actively play.
Yeah, and it gives all the people that really wouldn't have a shot in the tournament right off the bat an opportunity to play a lot of games.
Yeah, I don't see anyone getting screwed, because if you've never done it before, if we put together how a tournament usually goes, they're going to feel like they're in a tournament, you know?
Yeah. And like I say, we'll clarify more in the future. I can write up something a little bit better and send it out to you guys. But I think what we're discussing here is probably a good change, and it'll help get rid of the situation where people are dropping like flies, where there's a bunch of forfeits.
Okay. Let's just see if you're okay.
Oh, so if somebody doesn't show up and they're a forfeit, the person that they beat before takes their spot? Is that what you mean?
I see your point. Sorry, go ahead, you say?
I think what he's getting at is if we have, let's say we have top 16, right? If Panda somehow gets knocked out in top 16, right, the round of 8, when we then go to the round of 4, and let's say one of the person in the round of 4 with the 8 bracket gets knocked out, can't make it, doesn't show up, he's saying, should we allow Panda to be placed into that? Not the person that beat Panda, a random person in that bracket area.
I don't like the fact that it would be random. I think the next highest person in terms of seeding that got knocked out, or the person who had the closest game maybe against somebody, just so there's some type of metric. Honestly, if it was closest game... I don't
think random works. I like the idea that if say Zeno and I are playing, right? And I beat Zeno, but then I'm not able to continue with the tournament. He should get to go in my spot, since he was the last person I beat to get there.
Yeah.
Random, I don't like that. I like just whoever you beat previously would then take your spot and keep going.
I think that makes more sense. Yeah. Do you want to put that to a vote?
Yes.
I think that's fairly universally agreed on.
And that keeps us from having dead matches, where forfeit means there's nothing for anybody to watch, because nobody wants that.
Hold on. Okay. This happened. Silverwolf beat Jeff.
True.
Then it took forever to schedule Silverwolf. Mm-hmm. He dropped off, all that. If we approve this rule, that whole time Jeff would have been like, oh, it's been too long. Oh, wait, it's been too long. Oh, it's my turn to step in. Anyone's going to do that if they really want to move forward. So we need to define what the cutoff, what were we calling the withdrawal or
1 week.
This is now I'm naming it the Silverwolf rule.
But that was regarding the consolation though.
So we need to define that rule before we approve
my thoughts for this.
I would say one reschedule and you're done.
I wouldn't even say that.
Just take it nice and
My
easy.
thoughts for this, right? Union reaches out to you. You have 1 week to respond, both of you, to give a time within the next 2 weeks.
No, that's being too generous. 48
Yeah,
hours.
that's too generous.
Within 48 hours. That's
Oh,
it.
I will give
extending
them
3 weeks possible. That's
I will give them about 4 days.
That's 3
Okay,
days.
so let's say 4 days to respond. Within the next week from you sending the message, you must give a time.
I think 4 days to respond is too much. If we're all in the tournament, we know we need to be keeping an eye on.
I can tell you
We can
there
do
are
3
days
then.
where I do not respond for 4 days, just because of my work schedule and stuff in real life.
Yeah, that's
this is me
the
saying,
thing.
Right, but 4 days
real
is
life
fine,
happens. Let people who have the busy life.
I just don't like this rule. I don't like it. It's going to create a cheerleader to get someone dropped
Alright.
from the tournament because their life is happening.
I have a solution to this that would solve a lot of problems.
What is
Let me handle it.
There you go.
I
Let me handle
100% second that.
I do think we should put some maximum response time, because the Silver Wolf thing was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was an insult to all of us.
Which is why I'm saying, even if it's you have 2.
Give me a week to work with them. If I don't hear anything back, we're moving on.
There you go.
Wait,
that works.
did he do that? Did he do that in the actual tournament too?
Yes.
Yeah.
But with 16
he
people,
literally
we can do it.
no-showed
long.
like twice.
That's why my bracket didn't move for a month.
I know. So
I could have stepped back in.
if this rule would have passed, the thing is, that's one thing we figured out. That's what Dark was trying to bring up. We haven't actually decided the rule of coming back in yet. That we still have to vote on.
Yeah,
We'll call it the comeback
don't
rule.
want to create a cheerleader, a proponent for someone getting dropped because their life is happening.
And honestly, I'd rather, if there's a forfeit in the top 16, it's probably only going to be 1 or 2. It's not going to be that much at that point. So I really don't like this rule that much either. So we could still vote on it, but it's probably going to be split. Like I said, I'm not really too keen on it.
Are you no?
I'd be a no if we are going to put it to a vote.
I will vote yes. Who's next in the lineup? Hold on. Tibbs, I think you're on top, Tibbs. What do you think?
I'll go ahead and vote yes too.
Okay. Zeno, this was your idea. I assume you were pro? Yes, okay. Darkside?
That's a no.
Nope. Okay. Dragon?
I have no clue what's going on. I was lost on it.
Oh my god.
He's like, I'm just happy to be
Come
invited.
back to Dragon if we need to explain it. Jeff,
Isn't this to like? Isn't
are
this to
you
like
yay or
prevent?
nay?
Is this to prevent forfeits?
No,
Yeah,
this is
It's
to
to account for forfeits so we don't have dead matches.
This is to allow the loser of a previous forfeit, well, the loser of a future forfeit to then step up. And my vote is no, that it's an automatic action. My vote is yes, that is a union 100% decision, no questions.
So if we vote yes, meaning what again?
The person...
So, like, you
Okay,
lost
go
to
ahead.
Silver Wolf, and then Silver Wolf forfeits farther in the next match. You would then take his place and keep going.
So, this vote does not determine how we're doing forfeits. Just
No, it just determines
No,
what happens when
it
somebody
allows us
does
to
forfeit
place the previous loser who
into the forfeit position.
into the
I
forfeit
vote,
slot.
So I vote no.
You vote no? Okay.
Yeah, I vote no.
Richard.
yes.
Okay. And USA, did I get you already?
If we keep it to it's only the person who previously they beat, yes. If it's the randomability of no,
No, not random. No, this is just the
then
previous loss.
I'm a hesitant yes. I think it's a good idea, but it needs to be polished.
Yeah.
All right. And did we miss somebody?
Dragon.
Just Dragon who didn't get the... So we are
Dragon's
4.5 to 3. So even if
Listen,
Dragon
guys,
says
Dragon's
no,
not allowed to vote.
We're still majority.
Dragon's not allowed to vote because if he knows, if he goes and takes somebody out and they can't play, he gets to stay in, he's going to go kill someone, and I'm trying to stop crime. Okay. This is important.
Is that Apex
This
in
is
the
important.
chat?
Yeah.
Let's see, linguist.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So Zeno, did you make a decision yet? Did you say yes or no? You said yes?
Oh,
Okay.
everybody but Dragon voted, but we're at 4.5 since USA was hesitant, so that's a half. So
well,
that's
there's no half. It's a yes or a no. So if he said
okay, well,
like a
then
hesitant
that's
yes,
5-3.
so okay, so
even if Dragon
then
votes
so
no,
it does pass. So let me write this down on my notes.
I think it's worth to try, and if we don't like it, we can always revoke it. Is where I'm at.
But this has nothing to do with the forfeit stuff. Union will handle all that. This is just what happens if there is a forfeit.
Yes. I also, that's something that's been on my mind, is like something like that, just because it is really annoying when it happens.
Okay, then at the end of this, I want to post another vote for a new rule.
You're good. Give me 1 second. Let me write this down. You can go ahead and actually say it now, though. Go ahead.
What do you got first, Dark?
Oh, okay. So then on top of this, I want to have an executive rule that if the rules, quote, air quotes, that we've put together put us into a bind, and the rules are going to make a decision, which is not good for the tournament, but it is following the fucking rules we set, then Union gets to override. He gets executive privilege over the entire thing. It's his tournament. At the end of the day, he can say, I know we decided this, but this is for the best of the tournament. Whatever the situation is based on his input.
If we really have some
real life
issues.
example so I can understand that a little bit better. I know what you're getting at.
I'm getting at the dragon rule from 2 years ago. That's what I'm getting at. So the rule said if no one extracts, no one moves on.
Oh.
And he at that point could have said, I see what Dragon was trying to do. I'm moving. I'm advancing you. You get to move on. But instead we lost it because the rules dictated that.
Can we just add a rule that says don't be a dick?
No.
That is... This organization is designed around dickheads, so...
Yes, no. I'm totally in favor of that. I think that's fair.
Yeah, I don't
executive
think we need
rule
to vote on that because it's Union's tournament. So
I just want to make sure everyone understands, because what we're trying to stop is someone being like, "No, that's not the rule. This is what was said," and yada yada yada.
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
Okay.
All right, so now it's whose line is it? Now it's whose line is it anyway? So that's fantastic.
All right.
Okay, so I got a question. Like we were watching live. What was the one that just passed, and what was that simple short version?
So Dragon.
Yeah.
In some future time, hell has frozen over, and you lose to me in the tournament. And then in my next match, for whatever reason, I have to forfeit. You then take that spot that you would have had, and you keep going in that position.
By forfeit, he means he can't show up to the match.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm unable to play. So you then take my position, and you continue the tournament, and I am out.
Yeah, that would have been no.
Yeah, but it still passes, though.
Thank you.
It still passes, though. 5-4, right?
Yeah, I know.
If you're not good enough to win in the round of 8, you're not good enough to win the entire thing. Don't waste everyone's time. Bam. I said it.
Well, yeah, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be like it was this year, where there's such a huge disparity between the players. When you get into a tight group of 16, it's going to be a lot of those matches where it could go either way.
I know, and I only think it might be invoked once, possibly next year.
And if it does, that good.
Too.
We now have prior knowledge of it.
Yeah, so I think it's fine. Even though I voted no for it, I mean, it's fine. Like I said, that's what you guys voted on, and it's not going to completely kill anything right now. So we'll be good.
It does help streamline things, too, as opposed to just saying, hey, can you show up? Well, shit, it's been a week.
It does.
Screw you, we're moving on.
No, it does. Fair enough. But all right, is there any other things that we need to address that we can vote on or do anything like that?
If we do just do a dedicated top 16, I would love to see best of 3 for everything, but I also understand that's very time consuming.
We already kind of put that in,
with
the Jeff rule's here.
Rule.
Yeah, the Jeff rule
So
kind of
if
makes
it's
it.
within 500 points, it triggers a best of 3 scenario.
If you lose by 7,000 points, the second game you're not going to win. Like
if
That's
it's
the Jeff
anything
rule.
bigger than 500 points, it's a win and they move on. But if it's within 500 points, it's a best of 3 situation.
How are we determining maps and enemies?
We are going to
That's
do the
still to come,
selection
right?
next. Yeah, we're doing selection in a little bit. Yep, that's
I'm
coming.
not going to be here for that part though. 'cause
Can
we're
I
going to dinner?
ask a rule then?
Yep, go ahead.
Can we just have it be player determinant? Like lowest seed chooses and then highest seed chooses. Like I get for the best of 1, it's a little iffy.
Well, it's always set for those, but then we're
I
just
like
going to
set.
replay the
I
round
that way
16 round
people know
debate.
what to practice.
But that's the point, is if this tournament is supposed to be best of the best, practicing the same map and same enemy over and over and over again, it defeats the purpose of being the best because you're supposed to be versatile.
okay, well
That's
then
why the
define
semifinals
best.
championship.
Is the
And that's-
best the person that can pick up the controller and play a flat and win, or is that the two people that practice the hell out of it and the one that wins from that wins?
I would
so
love
what
to
defines
see
best?
a person who can play every kit on every map against every enemy.
Oh, you're
we
the
can't
only
we
person
can't
that can do that.
You
Yeah,
can
that's
do
the
it.
only
I've seen
person that can
linguists
do
do
that.
it.
I can't physically host that tournament.
It's the difference between because like
You're the man for that.
you and Dragon are better players than me. Period. It's the difference between natural talent versus practice talent.
Yes, I'm in
So
that boat.
having
We
a
have
fixed map
both
and enemy
here.
type makes it because I don't consider myself natural talent. If I just pick up the controller and pick a random thing, I'm going to get the shit kicked out of me.
Can I do
need
it
to
this
know
way
the
then?
map and the enemy
If
to be good.
let's say the Jeff rule gets procced, can we do it then?
I think that's what we said.
Yes, that's what we said.
Whoever won that first match by not more than 500 points gets to pick one of the two
Yeah,
as
that's
their
fine.
consolation
Yeah,
for
that's
gets to
fine.
pick
Yeah,
up
okay,
first.
that's fine.
So long
But
as
then
it's
the-
in there, I'm okay with that.
It's in there, but then the semifinals and championship are going to function like this year. Basically, your tiebreakers are just reversed in the semifinal and championship.
Getcha.
Almost.
Okay, I'm good then.
Yeah. So anything else that we need to talk about in that section?
Nope.
All right, so here's an easy one. Co-host selections for next year. Is everybody pretty much in agreement? Just whoever's pretty much available that I can get because it's
Drunk
sometimes
Richard.
hard.
Only Drunk Richard.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
Drunk Rich with Sarcastic Union. That's a match made in heaven right there.
Drunk
my
Richard,
God.
Sarcastic Union, Dragon with Pistols is the new standard.
Can I just get an agreement that how we
Oh,
did it this
you know
year
what?
with
No.
people would be
Wait.
fine for next year?
Dragon being commentator was pretty money. So that's
Can we say only
just throwing that
Tibbs
out there.
as co-host?
There we go.
We need some gender
I
equality
mean, Tibbs,
in this
you
game.
anyone can technically,
Oh,
as
that's
long
true.
as we agree.
We are
is-
sorely in need of DEI. This is true.
is
We need
a-
DEI in the co-hosting.
Seriously?
So you guys are good with just anybody who's available just being my co-host. Is that good?
So only
Yeah,
protected
all right.
minorities.
All right.
I would
Well,
say if they didn't
Holy
play
Dragon.
last year, I would say no. Anybody who
Sweet
played
Chixie.
the previous year, because
Oh
we know
my
how
God.
everything works.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
should
mean,
be fine.
it would be my discretion.
Any
I mean,
tournament
for
veteran,
people.
Yeah.
but
Because there's more than enough of us that can handle it. So
I know. I figure. So you guys good with me basically just going out and finding a co-host, pretty much, right? That one that knows what we're doing, though. I mean, I'll be smart with it, as I was this year.
right.
yeah, I would say like dark color commentary is pretty good. So if you have the choice between 2 or 3 co-hosts, pick the one who's going to add
I'll
more
try,
to,
yeah.
to the dialogue.
Yeah, I just
no one-
if we
no
get
one
any of
likes
them
a
with dad
quiet,
jokes, I
limp
mean, I
fish.
don't know about that.
I am practicing right now. I'm taking any recommendations y'all have.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I
So
just
we're
want
good on
someone
there.
that's going to add to. So here's the one thing about co-hosting. I think there should be a little bit of understanding between you and whoever that is beforehand, because sometimes I've heard people over-talk you,
I
and
do a
then
lot of
I've
talking,
heard
though.
times where you. But yeah, okay, you do a lot of talking, and I've heard times where you bounce really well back and forth with someone. So when someone else is like reading the score regularly and you're just casting, is probably the best spread I've seen. Someone is focused on looking at the scoreboard and giving you regular updates instead of you having to pause,
True,
read it, pause,
true.
read it.
It is nice
And then
for that.
and then some people have not clicked with you at all. They've literally talked over you. They've almost tried to take over. and I haven't liked that. And then some people don't know where to be physically. So I think the rule needs to be, if you're going to be considered a co-host, you've got to be like at least communicated to and educated about how to do that.
And that's why I'd
There
usually
should
pick
be an
tournament
audition
players.
process.
Maybe not
Oh,
audition,
God.
but at least someone like just like I personally feel like I should have stepped aside and been like, hey, Union, let's talk real quick. Like, do you want me to be quippy? Do you want me to be funny? Do you just want me to follow and do my job? Like, what do you want out of a co-host? And we've just kind of let it happen naturally. But he does a really good job at keeping the talking going, but it's really fun when like Dragon kicks in or Richard kicks in. Like that, I think it brings a nice aspect. But I feel when I start talking, if I like want to go on a monologue about something about skill sets or what's happening, I feel like I'm stepping on him and it's his show.
No, honestly, whenever I get co-hosts that do that, that's perfectly fine. I just, whenever the wave's over, I like to give that score update, and that's all I really like to do. If you want to go on monologue like that, as long as you're adding to the game, that's perfectly fine by me. And we can do more like pre-game discussions for co-hosts and everything to get everything to mesh well together.
Dark did touch on something I want to get back to real quick, is Avenger etiquette.
Yes.
Etiquette?
Yeah.
I would love it if as I know I can do it, all of us know we can do it, but most players didn't realize they could ask the Avengers to be somewhere.
Yeah, that is
like,
a rule.
I can tell you, I need you away from this area because I'm trying to get this spawn. My guess is some of the newer people didn't realize that, and like his point of some of the people who co-hosted didn't know where to be. Truck knew where he needed to be because Truck had done this before.
Yeah, they need to understand where the spawns come from.
And you guys know where to be at this point, but if you pull a person, like let's say you pull Will. Will knows roughly where the spawns are, but Will isn't going to know where you want him to be until you direct him.
True.
So having a line in there for you can ask the Avenger where to be. The Avenger doesn't have to do it, but it is
maybe
in
at
the
the start of the start of the match.
Or just describe to the Avenger.
It's at the start of the match. That's the main thing. I mean, they can tell you where to be, but once the match, in terms of the waves, get going, I mean, it's anyone's game. It's hard to position yourself. It's usually
for me, it's not even that. It's the beginning of waves.
That's what I mean. It's the start of each wave. Yes, that's the main thing. And the Avenger.
I gotta cut in here, guys. I gotta dump out and we gotta get dinner going.
Yep,
so
you're good. It's good having you. Yep.
Yeah. And not that we've had a big problem with it, but it has shown up occasionally in the past on every blue moon. And having it in writing when the rules get sent out, players can direct Avenger at the beginning or end of each wave of where to start. Only.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is something I can do. All right, no, I get your point. That's a good point to bring up there, USA.
I didn't think of it until Dark briefly touched on it, and I'm like, oh yeah, we need to talk about that.
Yeah, and that goes to like Avenger etiquette and everything like that, and co-hosting. So that's a good thing to bring up. Let me actually write that down here.
Yeah, that's all I had.
Let me get it here. Players can tell Avengers where to go at the beginning and end of waves. Anything else?
That's all I had.
Alright. Well, if that's all we have there, we're down to... Yep, go ahead. That's what the consolation bracket has been, and I like to keep my tournament how the format is right now. If you're thinking,
just so I can understand that, are you saying to save the gameplay after the match is done, or to stream it themselves? Yeah.
Right?
Oh, the side by side.
We've done it in the constellation bracket. We've done it. I don't like that
Maybe.
format. I don't like the format. It's too complicated for me. I really
Yeah.
want to just keep my normal format.
So I think what we could do if you wanted to do that is when we get to that point, bring it up to linguist and the players, and maybe have linguist talk together
USA,
as a
practice
separate
matches.
thing.
All right, one thing. I'm going to use my power here to veto this because I don't like this idea at all. And this adds more work to me, and I just want to run it.
I'm not even talking you doing anything. I'm talking
I don't.
the players.
This is the same problem at the beginning of the year, though, if I start outsourcing stuff.
Yeah.
Okay? It's the
fair
same
enough.
issue that happened.
All I was getting at was the players themselves save the gameplay, send it to linguist. Linguist puts it together, puts it on his channel with no audio. Done. That's it.
That's fine,
So-
but like I say, I want to keep my format.
Yeah.
So the best I've seen, and I think this should happen next year, is when everyone's on PS5, or at least the two players are on PS5, and it's two side-by-side, first-person perspective, the actual competitor, during the practice match. I've learned more from watching those than anything else. And if we do that during the the preseason part, that's going to have a huge benefit to anyone that really wants to do well.
Linguist can have the video feed, and he can do it on his channel. My channel, it's staying as it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We don't touch unions. If linguist wants to do it and the players themselves want to do it, they can do it after. Nothing for the actual tournament, though.
Yeah, because we had an issue earlier on with stuff being shared between channels, and it didn't really work the best.
The other option you could ask for eventually is if we end up with finalists who have pretty good Wi-Fi, you could ask one of them to share play to the party live. So you could watch it from their perspective as opposed to just having to listen to it.
You can also, mainly we do that through the second co-host, or the co-host really.
But same idea, right?
Yeah, but it'd be first person in that case. No, I get it.
Yeah, and you could pick the character you wanted to watch and watch.
Yeah, but like I say, just for my channel,
player discretion.
Yeah, but just for my channel's sake, I just want to keep my format how it always has been since 2019. So I just want to kind of get that one out of there. But if Linguist wants the footage and everything, he can have that. He can do that on his channel.
Yeah, I think that's a fair.
But all right. So I think that wraps everything up for that. Now we come into our map and enemy selections. So we'll go ahead and we will start with the round of 16, which will be our technically first round. So what enemy first? Wait, sorry, go ahead, USA.
Can we make a promise to ourselves of no icebreaker, magma, or what is Nimbus?
Well, we're voting
I'd like
on
to
it,
see
so...
I'm saying for any of them.
Well, if you guys vote on it, I mean, we won't then. But like I say, it's going to be up for everyone here.
Yeah,
so we'll see
I'd
what
love
we
to
have.
see variety in the maps that we haven't seen in recent years.
Well, we probably will, unless we're going to vote now. So round of 16, let's go with the enemy first. So anybody have an enemy they want to throw out for the round of 16?
What was it this year?
What was it?
What was it this year? The enemy?
For the round of 16? Let me check.
It's probably Outlaw first, I think.
Because I'm kind of with Jeff. I like the sound of Aqua, and if it's not Ket, I think Ket could be fun.
Let me see. Where is this?
%.
Yeah,
the
really
enemy
matters.
type definitely affects. So like Juggernauts are being brought to Outlaw,
Paradox
but
Ket.
not. Okay,
It was Ket. It was Ket.
So Remnant then, maybe.
Ugh, Remnant.
I think we should just do Remnant 0 for every match, every enemy type.
I don't think you're going to get people to join
So
you in there.
let's consider that the base.
So I've got
and
one
then
for
we'll
Remnant.
make some adjustments from there.
I've got one for Remnant. All right, somebody's going to need to keep track of this because I really can't leave my main screen here too much. Or I might be able to do it down here.
Hang on. Let me get something to write with. Hold on.
You want to, Jeff? Thank you. That'd be good.
I got my phone out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, you're good. And you can vote. You can vote in the stream, by the way. You can vote in the box if you want to, the little chat.
Okay.
All right, so Jeff, you can go ahead and tally it up. You could be. Yep, you're good. So Jeff, you can be our tallier here because I know you got the pencil and the paper.
Okay, I need to put down all your names. Hold on.
Yeah, just check the party and make sure we're all there.
I think there's only 4 or 5 of us left at this point.
7.
No, it's been 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We're getting close to being done, though. We're almost there. We got 7 people, I think.
Should we start the round of 16 or should we start at the finals?
No, we're starting round of 16.
Oh, I thought the finals and the quarterfinals were player choice.
The tiebreaker is decided.
Tiebreaker, yeah.
So the third match
Gotcha,
is
so
decided.
round 2 and round 3 are player choice.
Round 1 and round 2 are player choice. Round
Zeno, are
3,
you still with us?
the tiebreaker is...
He's gone.
He's gone. The
I'd rather
tiebreaker is preset.
I mean, Tibbs, are you still with us?
Oh no, I'm here.
All right, that's good.
All right, so we're tallying what the maps.
So no, we're going
Maps
to select the
and
enemy first for the round of 16.
Okay,
so
enemy.
USA says what, Remnant?
I think Remnant. I don't recall Remnant being recent in round 16.
I'm also going to say Remnant. I think for round of 16.
Yeah.
Okay,
Remnant's
so,
fine.
Round of 16. So Union says Remnant, USS says Remnant. Okay, who else?
You. What do you want?
Oh, me. I want Cat.
All right,
Okay.
so say Kit.
Tibbs.
For round of 16, I'll go with Ket.
Okay.
Okay. Dark and Dragon.
Cat.
Cat. Dragon and Rich, if you're there.
Remnant.
Remnant.
Oh, we have a 3-3 tie. Dragon. It always comes down to you. Why is it always you?
Because
He
he's always the
waits.
last one to say anything. Yeah.
Let me think. This is hard.
Okay, so
Remnant
here's the
or
problem.
Cat?
Whatever you pick now probably won't be picked later. So do you want to play Ket or Remnant early to play Ket or Remnant later? That's what we're really talking about.
So what we were talking about is the match I'm not going to be playing in.
Everybody will be
This will be
playing.
the first match. This will be your easiest match, so I argue picking your least favorite enemy type.
Remnant.
My least. Nah, crap. This is going to be hard. Okay, I'll pick Remnant.
All right.
Yeah, I don't like you guys.
I don't like you anymore either.
So Jeff, I take it Remnant wins that.
Yeah, Remnant.
4 to 3
Alright.
Remnant.
All right, so now we're going for the map for the round of 16.
Aqua.
Icebreaker.
God damn it! Hold on.
Icebreaker.
Okay, so
Can we vote on a change of the rule taker or the note taker?
Alright. So Jeff,
Shut up,
right
you
now.
guys.
Alright. Union and Darkside have voted for Icebreaker.
Okay, Icebreaker, Union, Dark, Icebreaker. Be quiet, class. Anyway,
I would like Aqua.
Aqua. Okay, I second
Alright.
Aqua.
Alright, so Rich,
go with-
Dragon. What was that, Tibbs?
No, I'm gonna go with Aqua too.
Okay.
Alright, so Rich and Dragon.
Sure, Aqua. Why not?
Alright, that's 4 right there. That's majority rule.
All
That's
right.
the finals match from last year. Is now
Dragon
the round
hasn't-
16 of
Dragon
this year.
hasn't chosen
That's
yet.
fine.
It doesn't matter.
It's
What?
It's
because
4
it's
to 2.
majority. Yeah, it's majority.
Okay, so Remnant, Aqua.
Yeah, so it's Aqua. And Jeff, I purely did that just to scare you. I knew Aqua would win.
Oh,
How many? Wait a minute. So this has been going on for how many years now?
no, because
4 or
everyone was
5?
talking. I couldn't keep up.
So
No, you're good.
just to stop us from playing this game for the next literal half hour, does anyone want to second the idea of saying this might be the culminating year? We can just make every previous year's championship match the foundation for 16-8 semifinal and final.
I don't know.
Because there was an icebreaker or something.
So the first year was Remnant Nimbus. The second year was Zero Outlaw. The third year was Vertigo. I'm sorry, no. Is Vertigo the giant ship or is Vertigo the one that's inside?
Vertigo is
outside. Side by side.
Vertigo's outside.
Okay, so I'm sorry. First year was Vertigo Remnant. Then we did Zero Outlaw. Then we did Nimbus Cat, because that's when Jeff got sync killed.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then we did whatever you won with 2 years ago, Dark. And then whatever the one this year.
Remnant.
Then Remnant. Yeah, I just say we keep picking it like this. I think it's fine. We'll be okay.
Alright,
so we want to go with the, now, I guess, enemy, the round of 8.
Okay, round of 8.
So we just did Remnant, so let's do Outlaw. Outlaw's a good, fair...
I'm fine with that, too.
Okay, so Outlaw USA. Union.
Outlaw.
Outlaw.
Okay. I choose Outlaw.
Alright.
Concur.
Alright, that's majority right there.
That's it?
That's it. Let's stop. Right.
No.
Anyone else?
I mean, you could say it, but it's the majority, so I think it's fine. But now we get into the map. Vertigo. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay, Vertigo for you.
Vertigo is one of those ones that doesn't pop up enough.
Sandstorm for me.
Ooh, okay.
Okay. So 2 Vertigo, 1 Sandstorm.
Wait, you're also Vertigo USA?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Is this the round of 4?
You need
round of 8. Round of 8. Round of 8.
Oh, 8.
What was that, Tibbs? You're breaking up.
What did y'all say? We said Vertigo and...
So we have two Vertigo right now, 1 for Sandstorm, and you can vote for whatever you want for a map. The enemy will be Outlaw.
So I'm gonna say Derelict.
Derelict. Okay. That's one else we haven't had in a while.
I'll second Derelict. I don't want Vertigo.
2 Vertigo, 2 Derelict, 1 Sandstorm, Dragon, and Rich. What you guys got?
Derelict.
3 Derelict.
Ooh, okay.
And Dragon.
What are the options?
Any map you want. We have 3 for Derelict, 1 for Sandstorm, 2 for Vertigo.
Derelict. Dragon. No, I'm your
choice.
friend.
Let's go with Icebreaker.
Okay.
No.
So
He just threw away his vote, so yeah. So
I love the independent vote. It's so useful.
So round of 8 will be Derelict Outlaw.
Yep.
Okay. Derelict.
I got semifinals, so we need the enemy.
Let's go with the one we haven't done, Cat.
So this is the round of 4?
Round of 4.
I'm actually going to say Outlaw again, because I don't think we've had a back-to-back one before.
Okay. So 1 for Cat, 1 for Outlaw.
So you're Cat USA?
I'm Cat.
I'm Outlaw.
Okay.
Cat.
Cat, 2 Cat, 1 Outlaw.
Who's a Cat?
Dark.
Cat for me.
Okay. Tibbs.
I like Outlaw.
Okay. 2 Outlaw, 3 Cat. Rich.
Outlaw.
3 Outlaw, 3 Cat. Dragon.
Outlaw.
4 Outlaw. Okay.
Alright.
What did
That's
I ever
Outlaw.
do to you, Dragon?
Alright. And I'm going to start up with our map. I'm going to say Sandstorm for the semifinals.
Sandstorm seems fair. It's a good open area where every kid can shine. I like that.
Okay, I second Sandstorm.
So 3 Sandstorm.
Okay.
Sandstorm. Sure.
There you go. Majority rule right there. Outlaw Sandstorm.
I figured that'd be an easy one.
Yeah.
Outlaw Sandstorm, now we're in a championship.
Sandstorm also, surprisingly, I don't think it's popped up that much recently.
No, it has not.
The funny part is, by the time this comes around, I'm going to completely forget we did this voting, and I'm going to be like, what type of idiots pick these fucking maps and enemy types?
Well, I'll be keeping the receipts and I'll snapshot it for you.
Don't worry, I have it all in my notes.
Yeah.
Alright, now we're down to the enemy for the championship.
Cat.
Championship.
I'm gonna say Cat too.
Cat, just because we haven't had it this round.
Remnant all day, baby.
Okay, 2 cat, 1 remnant.
I gotta say Remnant too, just to...
Okay, 2 cat, 2 remnant. Dragon.
What are we going on this one?
Enemy.
Enemy type for the championship. We have cat and remnant so far.
Oh, cat.
3 cat, 2 remnant. Jeff.
Outlaw.
Ooh.
Okay. Tibbs. Preference.
I'm gonna go Remnant.
Ooh.
So wasn't that 3 cat, 3 remnant, 1 outlaw?
So
Yeah.
so now we
3
have
cat,
the person who voted
a
outlaw
tiebreaker.
will be basically
Will
voting.
be the tiebreaker?
Yep.
Okay, then I'll choose cat.
Alright, so it's Cat.
Okay.
Unless anybody else would like to change the vote here, but
Nope.
I mean... But okay, I think we're doing Cat then, so then we have the map.
Give me a minute to
0.
try and remember the maps. I can't think off the top of my head.
It's gotta be 0.
Icebreaker.
I'm gonna go icebreaker.
Icebreaker. We're thinking the same thing.
Oh, jeez. So, okay, both for you guys, icebreaker, okay.
Oh,
Icebreaker,
shoot.
yep.
Oh,
3
my God.
icebreaker.
Okay.
Dark.
0. Are you guys
0.
crazy?
Alright, dragon.
I-
Or Tibbs.
I like Icebreaker.
It's in my name.
4 icebreaker, there
That's
it is.
for Icebreaker is the champ. That's a tiebreaker, though. We might not actually get there, so...
That's 4 icebreaker.
Right.
That's
And
you,
that's
me,
it.
Rich, and Tibbs. It's 4
Alright,
out of
that's
7.
it. We're good. So we have our
Icebreaker
setups.
cat. Icebreaker cat, Sandstorm
yep.
Outlaw. What was
Okay.
it, Vertigo?
Yeah, round of
So it'll
16
be
is Remnant Aqua.
Round of 16.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Remnant Aqua. Round of 8 is Outlaw Derelict. Round of 4 is Outlaw Sandstorm. And Championship is Cat and Icebreaker.
I like Icebreaker just because it actually makes you think about how to use the map. Like, Sandstorm is a good open area for every kit. By the time you get to the finals, you need to know how to use the kit you want to use on the map.
True. But
Oh,
alright,
the
we have it
Remnant Vault.
set. We have that set.
I wish, Jeff. I so
I know.
fucking
I wish we had
wish.
that back. I wish we had
It was
that
such
back.
a fun map.
Ooh, after this, USA and Rich, let's do a Mass Effect 3 multiplayer champions.
Well, hold up. We still have to finish this live stream here. So now that we have that done, any other matters you would like to talk about? So open up to discussion if you have anything else.
I
We should
should've
ban
made us-
Dragon.
No.
What?
No.
What? What happened?
We should ban Dragon.
We're gonna ban Dragon.
No.
What?
Let's take
Other
that
than
to a
banning
vote.
Dragon.
Let's take something else from him.
Okay, let's take that to a vote. Dragon,
No.
you vote first.
Yes.
Did we ever do a? Did we ever do a soft ban on the
we're
cheese
gonna-
of like the Predator
We're gonna
cheese?
limit Dragon to the
No.
Keyshock.
That's
No.
fine.
Okay,
fine.
I wasn't sure. I don't remember what has
No.
come up at this point.
No, it's fine. But right now is the thing that is the time to bring it up because there's other matters. If you guys want to throw anything else in.
No, if you want to collude with your teammate to do something stupid, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, gentleman's
Yeah.
agreement
Twice.
should stand.
Gentlemen's agreement
fine.
should stand. I would like to at least see it out of the final, but if it shows up in the final, fine. Is
Yeah,
where I'm
it's
at.
up to the contestants. So yeah, is that the only thing though for other matters then?
I can't really think of anything.
I can't either. I think we talked about just about everything, and the only thing left would be our awards ceremony. So if we're done there, we'll go on to the awards.
Flat ban on mass group chats.
Yeah, just I'll handle
I
all
think
stuff in the
I
future.
think we've all moved on to Discord.
Yeah, Discord's our new place, so
Even the
we're
Discord is
fine.
dead.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
He'll
it.
liven up during tournament.
Yeah,
I
it
know,
will.
but I'm saying the
Yeah, if
Discord
we're gonna
is-
say no to anything, it's gonna be food photos.
It'll be fine. We have our space for it now. We'll be good. We have the Discord.
Or
But all right,
dogs and cats.
other than that, we good on everything.
Real quick question: when this pops up in October, of when, let's say it's October, when we start like the month-long play your matches to try and place, right? How are we getting word out?
Just take a picture or just let me know by text of what the match results were to send it to me so I can compile my data.
No. My point being is, how are we getting word out to other people beyond what we currently have if we want to try and draw new players?
That I am actually not sure of. So what do you guys think? Just personal messages, get them in and then play with them a little bit, or just like meet him randomly. What do you think?
I think it's just us playing with them if we're practicing random matches.
It goes down to who plays the most, because...
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see myself playing this game a whole lot.
We might not have too terribly many new players next year. It might be a trimmed-down version of what we have.
What I'd also appreciate at some point is when we get to that point, could you, let's say we have a sign-up list, could you put a list of people who are eligible to be played against?
Yes, I will.
In the Discord.
I think this is. Put that in there.
I know this might go for 2 more years, but I kind of have the feeling that this is the swan song. So it's kind of about us and, you know, getting Darkstar back, getting the people that have really pushed the limits in the past, like having a chance where we can really just show off what we can do for one last kind of hurrah.
I'm kind of with you there, too, because I'm thinking more often than not anymore that next year might pretty much be the last year, so
is it possible at all to potentially, let's say we have the same group we had this year, and everyone had variant N7s, right? Most of them, except for maybe Cadet, Lieutenant.
Yeah.
Right. Is it possible we might be able to up this to Platinum with siphons? If everyone does?
The tournament's always been hosted on Gold, and I think it would just get bogged down sometimes. And I just want the games to run.
If we're talking the last hurrah, upping this to Platinum and showing what we can do, it would be Platinum.
I think Platinum would be good for an All-Stars type of thing.
I like the All-Stars. Once we say this thing is dead, I think we do an All-Stars on Platinum.
Yes, that's fair enough.
Yeah. I like
and just go ham.
Yeah,
all right,
and
on that note,
no restrictions then.
I'm going to head off then. Yeah,
yep,
no
you're good,
USA.
Good having you. We'll be wrapping up soon anyways.
Love you, USA.
But alright, so now we're going to go ahead and I guess we'll do our award ceremony here. So we'll do the awards I have listed first, and then we'll do other awards that we propose. So the first one here, obviously we already know the winner of the 2023 Andromeda Madness tournament is Real Perfect. He had a heck of a run in the tournament, and he won the whole thing, so congratulations to him.
Dragon will accept his award on his behalf.
Yeah. No, he's a really good player. He won it, so congratulations to him. But now we move into the awards that we'll decide here. First award up, Most Improved Player. So, any suggestions?
Dragon, 100%.
So, Jeff, if you want to try to keep a tally, I guess, here of who's voting for who.
Hang on.
No, you're good.
Okay, Most Improved.
Yeah, you go ahead and ask us then, Jeff, to keep it a little more straight.
Okay. So who are we nominating? The nominees are...
I'm nominating Panda.
Panda.
Any others?
I'm nominating Tibbs.
Ooh, okay.
I'm nominating Apex Cheney.
I would say he's the least improved.
Yeah, but hey, from where, you know, the way I see it, from how he started to like he got further, you know what? That's fine.
For how he did last year, like, oh, he should have kicked the crap out of all of us.
Okay, then scratch that.
All right. So, are there any more nominations, or are we voting on them, or?
I mean, we got to put Silverwolf out there too, because he did something good.
All right. No, fair enough.
Okay, so that's it. The nominees are Galaxy Panda, Sergeant Tibbs, and Silverwolf.
All right. So you guys can vote. Everyone else.
So here's my argument for Tibbs. Okay, here's my argument for Tibbs. Panda was already good, and he got better. Silverwolf was pretty good, and he got better, but he was hard to talk to. He didn't really show up, and it was hard to schedule. Tibbs was not going to start, got phenomenally better, and is here right now, and has shown that she wants to progress further in what we're doing.
And she's still having fun, I hope.
And she's kick-ass awesome, by the way.
That's to be debated.
That is, well, the thing is, that is true, and you did get a couple wins too in the tournament. You know what? I'm actually going to switch then my vote, and then say I will go for Tibbs. I'll go for Tibbs. So it's between Tibbs and Silverwolf then.
So who votes for Tibbs? Okay, Union votes for Tibbs. Who votes for Panda?
In the interest of just not voting for myself, I'll vote for Panda.
Okay.
See, that's why. That's why. I'm adding another point. She voted for someone else other than herself. Most improved. Best team player.
You guys are cool. Yeah, no, I'm here because
I
I
think she
enjoy it.
deserves.
What
I
do
think
I?
she deserves Miss Congeniality.
Oh,
Okay.
anybody else
Just
voting on
to
it?
Sandra Bullock.
okay, just to be a brown nose, I'm picking Union.
Doesn't count. Pick someone real.
What? But you improved greatly. You've grown a lot, Union, on this whole thing.
God, Dragon.
Okay, so we got 2 votes for
Just
Tibbs,
when I
1
thought
vote
you
for
couldn't get any dumber, you go and do something like this.
Oh my
and
God.
totally redeem yourself.
So we got 1 vote for
Thought we were
Panda.
friends,
We got 2
Dragon.
votes for Tibbs.
What's that?
Has anybody else not voted? Richard, I think it's down to
Tibbs.
you.
Sure.
Tibbs, I think that'll take it.
Yay!
So Tibbs,
I
you
like
have
you
won our
guys.
most improved player award. And hopefully we can have you
I
back next year
appreciate
for it.
Speech.
You got a speech?
No, like,
Come on, Rocky. Let's go.
yeah, I'm here because, I do enjoy playing with you guys, and it was definitely a fun experience, and yeah, I want to participate this upcoming year, so yeah, I appreciate it, especially all the help you guys have been giving me, because I only been back in this game for not that long, so.
Well, it's been great having you in the tournament, and we look forward to having you next year. So you have
He
won
just
that
gave you the
award.
you lost speech.
Hey, don't say that. That was my just announcer coming out of me right now, okay? I've been doing this
You
for
just
a while
threw her
now.
the you just lost your match talk. Hey, we appreciate you having here and look forward to seeing you next year.
Dark,
That's what you never want to hear.
I have
Hey,
so
I
much
fully
to
went
stitch
into
together.
this thing expecting not to go very far, so
Didn't mean to do
I'm
that.
good. Don't worry about me.
Didn't mean to do that. But no,
Sorry,
Force
but
habit.
it's great.
Force
So
habit.
I know.
I'm
Force,
gonna make a
force
meme.
habit.
I am making a meme.
Okay, you go ahead and make a meme. Send it to me. But all right, so we'll move on. Next one, biggest surprise of the tournament.
Oh, that was Dragon all the way.
Mine is
Yeah, how
going to
he
be.
fell off at the end. That was a
Well,
pretty big surprise.
All right, mine is going to be Silver Wolf's run through the tournament.
Okay, so
Mine will be Zol Hicks.
What about it, or just Zol in general, his playstyle?
His playstyle, because I played with him before this tournament. He was okay, but it's like, wow, he amped himself up. So I was like, okay, he committed. So I don't know. To me, I was impressed. So.
All right, any more nominations? Are we voting on those two, or what are we doing?
Which one is this again? The
Biggest surprise.
biggest surprise. Biggest surprise. Biggest surprise.
Who was
One
it
vote
that
for
used
Silver
the...
Wolf, 1 vote for Zol Hicks.
So the
At the
reason.
roof?
Now hold on. The reason I'm saying Dragon is the biggest surprise in this tournament thing is because everybody believed Dragon wasn't go in and not win, and then he surprised everybody by actually playing truly powerful. Like, there you go.
That's true too.
And also, you say, I can see he sent something in the chat real quick, and you did vote for Tibbs in the last one, so I just wanted to point that out and to
Nice.
say that I am watching. Yep,
I got to
biggest
throw
surprise.
in for Panda on biggest surprise.
Panda, okay.
He needs
that's
something, and he went from being a 12-year-old kid playing this game to one of the biggest threats.
That's a good one.
Like, he came up hard and heavy.
So we got 3 then, so anybody else have anything different to vote on these 3?
Well, we got 1 vote for Silver, 1 vote for Zol Hicks, 1 vote for Panda, and 1 vote for Dragon.
I don't think that last one counts.
What?
Well,
could vote
it's fine.
himself.
We still have more people here.
He always votes himself. He could say proud. You could ask for the proudest woman, and he'd be like, "Yep, that's me."
Yeah.
Identify.
So anybody else voting?
No, that'd be a linguist.
Anybody else got any votes to put in?
Are we voting?
Testing,
or is
1,
this
2, 3.
nominations?
Yeah, we're voting now, or if you want to nominate someone,
Oh.
you can.
Yeah.
Who was it that used the kineticus? Was that against in your match, Dark?
The
That was
Repulsic?
Darkstar Aurora, right?
Oh,
That was
Repulsic.
last year.
That was the year
That's
prior.
Perfect.
Year
That's
prior.
Well,
perfect.
somebody was running around with the kineticus. I don't know.
Oh, that's like so the people that went on to Kinesis was Positonia, I got this in the roll perfect.
Yeah, perfect in my first match. I think he had the
yeah, that was
Kenosis.
perfect. Okay. No, yeah, I'll go with Galaxy. I'll vote for
No.
Galaxy.
Yes!
Okay.
Panda's got one.
2 for 2.
So 2, okay.
Yeah, I'll vote for Panda.
I think Panda has it then.
Alright.
So Panda has won the biggest surprise of the tournament.
Wow, you guys betrayed me.
So congratulations to Panda.
Dragon,
and now we come
nothing you do
to...
surprises me anymore.
But now we come to best match of the tournament. So what do you guys have here? I'm going to go ahead and vote real quick. I'm going to say it was the Dark versus Panda game.
Yeah, that's the highest pointing game of all time.
Any other suggestions?
Honestly,
I don't see how you go anything else.
Honestly, I can't pick. There was like 2 or 3 good matches. The match between Darkside and the Real Perfect was amazing. All 3 matches were great, but the first 2 were amazing. I really like watching those 2. Dark against Panda was great.
I'm gonna nominate
Panda,
Rich versus Dragon.
Oh,
Panda,
I knew that would get one.
Panda against Tibbs, that was amazing. Dude, I'm serious. That was amazing. It's like, damn, the reason it was amazing.
By amazing, do you mean hard to watch?
No, I'm saying he just did not let up. He just kept pounding away, and I have not
kind of inappropriate.
And I have not.
This is a family program.
I have not seen that inside this tournament before, except for what was it? I think it was Jeff, but Jeff had a revenge going on.
Jeff is good at pounding as well, but that's not what we're talking about.
Don't drag me into this.
But yeah, that's like I said. Anything that has Dark or Panda in it, those matches are great. It's that simple.
I'm
you gotta
voting
pick
for
one.
the Dark versus Panda.
All right. So that's 3.
So, yeah,
That's the highest pointer of all time. Let's do it.
Anybody else?
Because Dark created a monster and he defeated it.
Oh my god, barely. Barely.
It was a great match. But anyone else have any votes?
Panda literally learned from the dark side.
That's it.
Richard, did you vote?
He's embraced.
I think Panda. Yeah, I think a Panda Dark game. Yeah.
All right, I think that takes it then. So Dark versus Panda, best game
on the board
of the season. Dark.
I'd like to thank my mother and honestly the fans. They've done so much. And my agent,
says no.
linguist.
Agent linguist. Oh my god.
He's been through me. He's been there for thick and thin.
Good god.
Okay, next category. Is that it or not?
We have one more thing in the awards. Well, 2 more things in the award ceremony. So this one is any other proposed awards from you guys.
Best co-host.
Do you guys want to go ahead and do that one?
I was going to say best host, but that's kind of pre-decided.
I mean, we can vote on it if you want, but I mean, you got to make them meaningful.
I just want to plug Drunk Richard again. Is the best answer in any situation.
Best co-host performance.
The Dragon, hands down.
So saying, do you guys want to do this vote or not?
I'll vote for Dragon.
So we are going to do it, okay.
That was fun.
Let's do Dragon, yeah.
Dragon when he doesn't realize he's actually on recording.
Yeah.
When he's trying to be sarcastic and just a troublemaker and ends up being like really good at what he's doing is so funny.
So I think it's almost unanimous here. I think Dragon has won our best co-host performance award now.
Yes, I finally won something.
You did, Dragon. You won something.
Finally.
He didn't even nominate himself.
Look at that, buddy. You prove your family wrong. Good job.
It almost took 3 hours into the live stream, but you won something. Alright, is there anything else in terms of awards, or is that pretty much going to do it with those awards?
We'll send you a supply of Snickers bar for your win.
Good God. Any other awards, though, or are we pretty good on that?
Now a good time to take a moment for our sponsor.
Yeah,
I was about to say biggest troll, but Dragon's already won something. So.
Dragon's already won something. Biggest troll. We don't need.
That was the Throw the Bone Award.
All right. Anything else though, other than trolling?
I mean, just for I would throw an award out there for like most, I guess highest assist points, and that's got to be Linguist for the whole tournament and all.
We'd have to.
You did so
that
much, and we know you did it, but I gotta nominate Linguist for most assist points.
We'll make
and
that an
also getting
one.
seal clubbed in the actual tournament, which is hilarious.
Linguist gets Miss Congeniality.
It's an honorary title.
Oh, he's gonna look at the end
it's
of
an honorary title.
Wait till he sees the end of the live stream.
Just do better.
Not Miss Congeniality, participation trophy.
Just do better. He gets the tissue.
Oh my god.
Because we know
Gets
Jeff
the participation trophy.
Well, I think we're good there then. I think we're good. So, I mean, unless anyone has any more, like, really good award ideas or no. So, any last words on that one?
I think we're good.
Alright, then I have one last award. This one you guys don't get to vote on. This is my own personal one. I'm the only one that gets this out.
Communism.
Sorry, my tournament. This is the Unsung Hero Award. It goes to the individual or individuals who have shown incredible sportsmanship, enthusiasm for the tournament, and have helped contribute to the Andromeda Madness tournament overall. This year, it goes to everyone who has had difficult games to schedule, but has understood the complexity of the situation and has stuck by the tournament, given both my time constraints and others who are participating in it. So it's basically everybody just for being a good sport and letting me schedule those games even though they were tough.
So, participation trophy.
Did you just give an award to everybody?
No. You know who you are.
Everybody.
Oh, it's anonymous.
And this award goes to everybody.
And nobody at the same time. Because it's anonymous. It's kind of cryptic, but those individuals will know. But yeah, with that being said,
well, good for you guys.
That is everything. We have made it to made it to the end of my list for the Andromeda tournament script for 2023. It has been a heck of a ride. We're approaching 3 hours here, and at this point, is there anything else you guys want to say before we go ahead and wrap up?
Yeah, I'd like to say one thing.
Go ahead.
Only one thing.
Go ahead.
See you guys next year.
Yeah, now you sound like me. You took my line.
For democracy.
Please wait democratically.
Please wait democratically. While sipping your liberty.
Please wait democratically for next year's tournament. Oh my god.
All right, let's hear the finale.
I guess I have to be professional just for a few more moments, but before I do, anything else you guys want to say?
Hey, good job. Good job.
Yeah, it's been good.
Take your left hand, hold it up in the air, pat yourself on the back. Good job, man.
We got through it all.
No more than 3.
With me now.
No more than 3 pats.
But alright guys, that is our live stream. Just over 3 hours. It was a big one this year. We went through everything, talked about a lot. And we will see everybody next year. Thank you, everyone.